wish they'd let us play music. You know, I really wish they'd let us play music up here. Make these long trips go by a lot faster.
It's against regulations.
Yeah, I never understood that.
They just don't want us having a dance party when a proximity alert goes off.
See, that's a dumb reason. Because we'd already be on our feet, ready for action.
There she is. There she is.
Greetings and felicitations.
Hello, welcome to Shore Leave number 5. This is an open topic show. I do have a little bit to say about a movie that I just saw that PvP and I saw. But I'd also like to welcome Admiral Teague to the panel today.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I do not have a West Canadian accent, nor am I very intelligent, but I will do my best.
Well, I wouldn't say that you're not very intelligent. I just say that you're very brave with
Scotty's
your diction.
actually an Eastern Canadian accent, though. He's in Ontario, right? So.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, that's how dumb I am. I'll take brave, and I'll take brave.
Okay. Yeah. So are we going to talk about the film at the start here, Jill? Or Jill's gone. Maybe Jill's having a toddler emergency. No?
Yeah. Every once in a while, I might need to step away, so I should have said something.
This is a fantastic movie to catch up on while you're on the stream because it's not in American.
It's not
it's
in American.
German.
No, it's not. Yeah, I watched the movie in German. Of course, if I take I've got to expect something weird when I take a recommendation from Captain Kennedy. So, but no, it was a good time. It was fun.
Well, luckily it had subtitles in English, so that helped.
Yeah.
Unless you're dyslexic.
So I guess I could say hello to the chat. Hello to Mega Cropper. He says, I prefer the earlier start time. Well, today is not a normal day, as I say here. Normally, yes, I do start an hour or a half an hour earlier. But today is different. And Dark Helmet is here.
Yeah,
It was an alternate timeline.
Yeah, he has a new channel. Drinks and Opinions, I think it's called. JPRPH1 wants to know about a poll. We don't have a poll today. And also we have Edge of Time. Hey, Edge of Time. He says this thumbnail really marinates my meat.
the thumbnail could be kick Admiral Teague, yes or no.
Well, the thumbnail is Tribble being eaten by the Tribble predator.
Yeah, I like that thumbnail. I thought it was pretty awesome. Actually.
I couldn't figure that out. Is that what that
is?
Yeah, it's from the animated series.
It's from More Tribbles, More Trouble. And yeah,
well, it figures there had to be a Tribble predator, right? Or they would have just, they would have been like 10 miles deep on the planet where they live.
Actually, the deal with that is that the Klingons actually invented these Tribbles and through DNA manipulation too.
So they're not natural predators.
They're not natural.
They're part human according to New Trek, and humans eat them. I'm sorry, I forgot that rule.
Yeah, Jill does not like.
Oh wait, actually, you can talk about the filth. It's Friday. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But Tribbles are not part human. Oh my god. What?
Well, they're not human in part human in my continuity that I believe in.
Okay.
Not in my Star Trek. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. It was just a trigger reaction to that kind of thing. Whenever I hear the filth, I don't really want to discuss it. But you know what? Today is the day
one of the things
where
I
we
love about
need
you the
topics. So we can talk about it today, I suppose.
One of the things I most admire about you is how much you hate the filth.
Yeah. And that particular Star Trek short is especially insidious because it says is take your officers who are having mental issues and completely destroy them and kill them.
And couldn't be more stupid. The Tribble cereal commercial at the end, it's like now in the future, humans don't skin or prepare their food. They eat it live.
Right. And yeah, right. Exactly. So
God, I'm glad I haven't seen that. That's
fur and all.
I just want to say about the short tracks, and I'll let you go with Lola.
Mhm.
I think they were cannon bombs to complicate and darken Star Trek and make it look stupid so they could keep it. They're trying to devalue it. Those cannon bombs are so destructive. When you see an entire starship blow up from tribble propagation, I mean, that's some stupid fucking cannon.
It
Yeah,
is.
that's pretty bad.
Right. As if
Wow.
Starfleet officers don't know how to use an airlock
Or a
Yeah.
phaser. They're
or
only
Well, just
transporter.
just beam them
Transport
out
them
into
off.
space
just
if you have
phase
to.
them. Phase them. They're the farthest thing from an endangered species.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, they're far from
Yeah,
endangered
and
the way they
yeah, so
multiply.
even though the animated series episode maybe wasn't the best episode, but it was cool because it didn't do any of those mean things to the the
Well,
history of Star Trek. It
Yeah,
it, it
didn't
just
really.
introduced, like it has on my thumbnail, that triple predator, and he's called a glommer.
A
They
glommer.
say they say there's predators right in the episode of Star Trek that introduces the tribbles. Spock says it. They in this environment with no predators, they're breeding out of control.
Mhm.
And it would make sense that something really vicious hunts them that insatiable, because look how fast they reproduce.
Well, there's got to be a predator on their planet, right? I mean, otherwise
It has to be.
there'd be so many of them. They wouldn't. I mean, they wouldn't even be able to move after a while. There'd just be piles and piles of tribbles everywhere.
Unless it's only vegetation. If you have, species running around there, organic species running around there, there has to be like an ecosystem that functions. How could you have nothing but without predators? How could you not have predators?
There's got to
It's
be
only
predators.
plants and cows only. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
you got me.
yeah. Doesn't make sense. So they have to be predators of some sort.
So tell me about this
No.
cool cuckoo clock in the middle of this strange trailer I'm watching.
Oh,
Gorilla.
okay. You're watching the trailer for Lola. Oh,
It
hello
reminds me
to.
of the X-Files.
Let's see. Hello to Gorilla's Random Thoughts.
Hey,
Hell,
gorilla.
gorilla, hell, love you on Quabi. I'm sorry, on Pops.
Does
Yeah, pop
anybody
culture
know?
curator.
Does
Mhm.
anybody know what that T.S. Eliot quote says? I'm sitting here scratching my head thinking, it's probably some kind of profound thing, but I sure can't read it because I don't, read German. So,
Well, if you look at the subtitles, it tells you what it says.
oh, I guess
Herc
I don't know
130
if the
says,
copy I saw had that.
who would eat a tribble? Come
Human
on,
children,
man.
human children, unfortunately, bones and all.
And
It's
fur.
a horror story.
Yeah, it seems to me tribbles are more fur than anything else.
They never use sci-fi techniques to tell these new stories. It's always detective story and horror story techniques.
Well, they probably don't know anything about science fiction. That's probably why they, they write such crap, basically.
Or
And
the
also
hero's
they
journey.
say, how can I, as a superior officer, put down and destroy my subordinates?
That is one of the things they say, among other insane things, like use the sonar in space.
Or backwards.
Yeah, really.
It's just
The
there's
nonstop
no more
assault.
teamwork.
And you know what? If it was one or two little problems, we could look away. But it's just they throw everything at us at once, and it's just a cacophony of mistakes. And I honestly think it's just the Velma thing here. It's like the reverse
Mhm.
Streisand
Oh, let's not
factor.
mention that show. I've heard
It's
so
right-
much. There's so much hate video on YouTube about that show.
It
I
went
don't
up
even think
937% in views. Pops, cultures, curators, statements about not propagating the
I
filth
think,
turn
yeah,
out
I
to be
agree with
right.
Bob. It's like
Here's the thing: it
don't
won't
talk
save it
about
for
this
long.
garbage, and it'll go away eventually.
No, here's the thing: it won't save it for long. That happened to Batwoman, and it bought it like 3 weeks,
Yeah, Batwoman didn't last too long, did it? Thank
like a
goodness.
season and 2/3. And at the end of the second season, they were trying to reboot it into Batwoman and Alice, which would have made no sense because Alice killed like 3 people an episode.
Okay, so this movie. Okay, so you want to know about the quote? The quote says, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." So that means that we will come to understand our home better once we've gone out to explore other worlds. So the perspective of learning more about a place we don't understand helps us understand more
So it's like the Wizard of
where we
Oz.
live. Sure.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. And I mean, Dorothy goes on her journey, and then when she gets home, she appreciates it more.
Right. And so this movie tries to it asks some philosophical questions in the beginning, but most of the movie is just the loops that Lola goes through. She goes through 3 different loops while she's trying to save her boyfriend
Yeah, it says the movie has like a
Yeah.
20-minute time frame.
It's
Yeah.
a 80-minute movie in total, and there's basically the 3 stories. So I think the first part is what, about 30 minutes long, Jill. The first part when
Yeah,
she gets shot.
exactly. Each loop is about 30 minutes long. That
Yeah.
is about approximate. And what it is, it's a action suspense where if her boyfriend got into some trouble with some kind of deal. I don't know if he's a drug dealer. I guess so. I guess that's what it is.
Well, basically, he's
Um,
in with thugs, and if he doesn't give them the money he's supposed to, he's in deep doo doo.
yeah, right. It's 100,000
Deutschmarks?
Deutschmarks?
Yeah,
Deutschmarks, yeah.
Yeah, German money.
And she's styled just like Mila Jovovich. You can see they can't get enough of that Resident Evil kind of look.
Yeah, she looks like the chick in what's that sci-fi movie with the red hair? Oh gosh,
Well, she looks like Mila in Fifth Element to me. With
Fifth
Fifth
Element.
Element.
That's the film I was trying to
that's
think of.
Mila
Yeah,
Jovovich.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah. The
I'd
red
agree
hair
with that,
for sure.
especially with that. But she isn't some kind of evolved human. She's just a regular human.
She
And
sure could run though for a regular human.
yeah, she
Man,
can.
I'd be tired.
Right. And she has to be able to run because she only has 20 minutes in which to get this 100,000 Deutschmarks to save her boyfriend's life. And
Yeah.
every single time she runs to her daddy's bank to try to get the money from him, but he's having his own kind of crazy drama.
Yeah,
that
Daddy's kind of a
throws
scumbag.
yeah, he isn't he?
Oh yeah, I didn't like him very much.
No, I don't either.
He wasn't very
So
nice to her. I mean, it's your daughter, man. Like have some compassion.
yeah, the whole
Maybe he
problem.
knows something we don't, right? Maybe he secretly swabbed their toothbrush and sent it
No,
to
he's just having
23andMe.
enough. No, he's just gonna abandon his family and have an
Well,
affair.
he's got
So,
drama going with another woman, right? So
mhm.
Ooh.
So this whole thing happened because Lola lost her moped, and so she couldn't get to she couldn't go pick him up. Her what is her boyfriend's name? I don't even know.
oh,
Anyway, since he couldn't, he had to take the subway, so he left the money on the bus, and
Manny.
this bum took it. Manny, thank you.
I just looked it up on. I got
Manny is his
Wikipedia up
name.
here, so yeah.
Mhm.
What was with
Yeah,
the red
exactly.
telephone? That seemed to have some kind of significance. It's
Well,
like every time
that
it would start, we'd see the red phone, right?
right. That's where the mark is. The loop starts exactly at the telephone at the end of the
Yeah.
call.
That's what I
And
figured. Yeah,
this movie's a lot older than I thought.
yeah. It's like late '90s.
It's 25 years old this year.
1998 was the release date.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a small budget too, 1.75 million, and it made almost 23 million in the box office. So that was a good return. It was a hit, basically.
After watching the trailer, I think I saw it flying to the Netherlands.
And the reason why I'm actually talking about this is because yesterday was Groundhog Day, and so this is also a very similar movie in vein to the Groundhog Day time loop mechanic. So
Very
this
much.
movie is a time loop, but in Groundhog Day, the time loop happened for like 30 years. In this case, we only have 3 loops before it's broken.
That's you think the Groundhog Day is 30 years, huh?
Well, that's an approximation. It could be 30 years, it could be 10,000 years, depending on where you're looking
Yeah, I
up
mean,
your information.
I don't know. Did the director ever clearly state it? I mean,
The director said 30 to 40 years.
okay.
Really?
I've
Like,
Harold
heard that
Ramis.
before. Yeah.
I felt like the best indication was how he progresses on the piano,
Mhm.
right? Because he gets better at it. At the end, he's a virtuoso. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, I Googled somewhere that it took 2,000 hours and he plays piano for 15 minutes. So it should be like 30 or 40 years.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
that
makes
makes
sense.
sense. It
Yeah.
takes 10 years to master something, and he starts the piano kind of late in the looping, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not
10,
exactly a kid when he starts playing it.
2,000 hours of practice was the estimation to have
Mhm.
mastery, which made that's a lot of time. That's like a couple of years.
Yeah. But the actual creator of the story, Rubin, I think Danny Rubin, he estimated more like 70 to 80 years of looping because
Hmm.
he has his character, he has Phil read one page of a book every day to mark the time, and out of all the books he read, it came out to that length of time.
Hmm.
Wow. So
It
there's a
seems to be
few legitimate.
debatable. I mean, everybody seems to have a different opinion on how many years it was.
No, but these are, I'd also say these are true Easter eggs instead of what we call Easter eggs now.
Yeah, and in this movie, Manny, if he can't get his $100,000, I'm just gonna say Deutschmarks, whatever. If he can't get his money, he's going to stick up this grocery store to get money. So
That's one thing that kind of bothered me a bit. Like, is a grocery store really going to have $100,000 in the tills for
he
Deutschmarks?
says
We don't know how much a Deutschmark was worth in 1998.
Yeah, but I
we
mean,
had, but
usually
what
the
it,
tills aren't that full of money. Like, they usually put it in a safe every
but
so
we're
many
assuming
hours, right?
it's. But what if a Deutschmark only had like 30 cents worth of buying power?
Well, then those
that's true.
gangsters are
I
really
have
not making a living.
That's true.
How
I have no idea what a Deutschmark is
Yeah,
when
me
this
neither.
movie was
and
made
in 1998
compared to a dollar.
when
I
a
would assume
Coke
it
a
had to
can
be
of
a
Coke
decent
was
amount of money.
65 cents this year.
Mhm. Oh, and this is another weird thing in this movie. Whenever she runs into somebody, you see pictures of that person's life in that loop. So
Yeah,
every
in the
loop, this
future.
person has a different, and their future. So
Yeah.
and they never explain what happens to these people. Like I don't know. I have no clue
Well,
what's going on in those
I
pictures.
guess it's, intimating
What the fuck?
the nature of the loops and how everything can change in every loop, right?
That's all I know.
That's
That's
all
right.
that makes
So
sense to me, really.
yeah, right. Every loop, Lola does something different, and a different thing happens.
Yeah, her
Um,
experience changes, and
I
so
can you
therefore
guys
everybody else's does as well.
talk for me for a minute? My daughter needs me.
Sure. Okay.
Thank
It
you.
looks like a Deutschmark is currently worth 50 cents.
Okay.
So
Wow,
if
it's even
we
less valuable than the Canadian dollar. I think our
so
dollar is worth about 67 cents US right now.
but we just cut it in half how much that this supermarket really needs. Well, and so now
That'd be
a super,
$50,000 then,
which is
basically.
now getting believable. A New York City supermarket probably has like $250,000 in cash by the
Could
end of
be.
the day.
I don't know about
Uh,
German supermarkets though.
let me tell you something. This is a world where people just barely had debit cards.
True.
Only a few cell phones in play. People didn't have Easy Pass to get through bridges and tunnels yet. Although this is Germany, so maybe it's only like 15 years ago.
Yeah, things have changed a lot in the last couple of decades, haven't they, Admiral?
I guess so.
It's like, man, I can remember
Germany,
1998. I think that was the year I got my first computer, actually.
1998. In 1998, the Germany had been one united country for 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, I remember when the Berlin Wall came down. That was quite an event.
The president of the United States was George Bush's father, as people would say.
Bush Senior.
We knew him as George Bush. And he had, and did anyone ever have a stranger speaking voice than him? He just had the most, least threatening. and, and as far as it went, like with war and stuff like that, George Bush's father, he loved war. He like kept going at it in World War II. He flew a lot of missions, but
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know
Well,
what?
that makes
So
sense.
going back so long. Oh wait, 1998. We had I showed my dyslexia there. In 1989, Bush's father was president. In 1998, BC, Doomcock's favorite person to imitate, was our president. but they had only been their own country for 9 years.
Yeah, I remember when the Berlin Wall came down. I was at art college then, and one of my friends in the painting studio where we hung out most of the time, he had an old TV in his we had all our areas, right? People had the walls, and it was like little rooms basically. And he had a TV, and I remember the day that the Berlin Wall came down, he said, "Hey, you got to come and see this." He had the TV on while he was painting, right? So we both, gathered, or everybody basically, gathered around the TV and watched, the Germans basically smashing the wall down, with hammers and whatever they could grab. It was
I
quite
was
something to
I
watch.
was already on mushrooms when it started happening because I was in college back then.
Yeah, well, I was
And
too.
it really I took a long time to come to terms with the idea that it was actually really happening.
It was hard to believe.
I told myself it wasn't true for the longest time. And then I remember all the very the hospitals were flooded with very depressed American communists who were sure that our country was going to go communist at any moment. I think we
Yeah,
all remember here in New York the parade of 7 or 8. Was it 80 million disappointed communists marched down Fifth Avenue?
really. See, I
In
don't
that.
remember that.
No one cared. We were so psyched that they had disappeared, that they had broken up, and I think the most prescient thought was, what's going to happen with these nukes these guys had now that they're like they just imploded and have no central control.
Well, luckily, nothing happened.
Yeah, but you know what?
Uh,
We had seen a lot of Tom Clancy movies between those times. It was funny. Hunt for Red October comes out after the Soviet Union falls and ends up being a period piece.
the saddest thing about the Soviet Union is for a few years it seemed like it might have had a chance to, go more democratic. And then we got who we got now, and it's like, nope, that's not going to
Hey, you know
happen.
what? I got a question for you. Do you watch the episodes of UFO?
I have been with Jill, actually. Yeah, I've been on here
All
with
right.
Scotty on the stream.
I'm gonna make an assertion here. You ready?
Sure.
In the distant future of that show, which takes place in 1980, which is far in the future from 1969 and 1970 when the show ran,
Yep.
far into the future, it was considered normal that people like Ed Straker, tough guy, man's man, that more people would just absolutely normally wear wigs. That Straker's wig is in world, and so is his makeup.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people were wearing wigs in that show.
And they're in world. I believe they're in world. The moon-based women's wigs are in world. And I don't know why the men on the moon don't wear wigs, except that they're all just like the least attractive background actors we've ever seen. And then we get like the weird, like strange, handsome one episode guy. We see a lot of people who do 1 or 2 episodes of Space 1999, which is their next show.
Yeah, it would have been season 2 of UFO, but they morphed it into 99.
No, season 2 of UFO was never happening because
Well,
they're
yeah,
not
that's
going
why
to.
they had to do
Not
Space
going to deliver it.
1999. Yeah, that's
Well,
it. They couldn't get it there on time. So
the default was on the UFO people. They couldn't make it fast enough.
well, yeah, that's what I meant.
It's a shame. Yeah, okay. It's a shame because the show had great music.
I liked UFO. I mean, it was kind of inconsistent. Some episodes were really entertaining. Some were kind of meh,
And
But
my,
I thought it was a good show overall. But I saw
my
it back in 1970 when it was originally airing on the CBC here in Canada. And my geek buddy, like we were, my best friend then, we were both like hardcore geeks, right? We were into like Lost in Space, and we started watching UFO, and it was like, hey, this show's pretty good.
and it's just weird to hear Doomcock of all people call it UFO because it's absolutely UFO. They pronounce it, and they make a lot of it. Finally, there's some episodes that have a horror aspect where we find out that we capture a couple of these aliens, and we do to them what they do to us. We grab them, we start chopping them up, and see what the hell they're made out of, and we find like somebody's sister's heart is in one of them, and they have someone else's eyes, and their eyes don't match each other. They've stolen them from, like, they're coming down here to steal body parts off humans. They're vampiric. They're
basically harvesting human organs so they can survive.
Meanwhile, if they would just reach out and ask us, we might have been able to give them some just through attrition and worked with them. There was no need for these crazy assaults on Earth.
Yeah, well, they could have just asked, like, I mean, there's sure probably, lots of organs, lying around from people that had just passed away. So they could have, probably
Or
worked out a deal, right?
yeah, and between you and me, have you seen the gun that Straker uses?
Well, I probably have. I'm not
Would would
visualizing it at the moment, but
would the word effete cover it?
oh, yeah, I guess he does have
It's
a
a
little
very
gun, doesn't he?
effete gun. It's quite a feat, and
Yeah. Well,
also
Straker's kind of like that himself. I mean, those little
he is
cigars or
cool.
whatever he smokes, and
Yes, he smokes brown cigarillos reminiscent of uh of Telly Savalas and Kojak,
oh yeah,
and
right,
and
right,
and
yeah.
um he's sort of a poor man's Hannibal Lecter, but he doesn't wear gloves. Think Banachek here, something Scotty always mentions. Think
Uh,
Banachek here, and
Banachek,
uh
yeah,
and
definitely Banachek here.
these are how this is how Straker fights UFOs. Okay, Ed Straker, man's man, wig wearer, UFO fighter. He fights UFOs through a combination of a high-powered automated bar, a Gary 7 like computer in which he monitors Earth control, which controls moon control, which launches what is will one day be Eagles for Space 1999, but off the exact same launching pad. And they sort of look like Colonial Vipers with like landing skids.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not the most functional looking. It's not the Thunderbirds people's greatest piece of work, the moon fighters or the UFOs. Their land stuff is better, like the Shadow Organization trucks and specialized vehicles.
Yeah, those are
Those
cool.
are cool, much
Yeah,
cooler than the spacecraft. They
even the
get the
submarine is kind of cool too.
I don't remember the submarine, but the thing is, I watched UFO. They ran like a marathon of it when they
Hmm.
started the Sci-Fi Channel. They ran it for
Oh,
like a
cool.
whole.
Wow.
They ran every episode for like a whole week. So no
Hmm.
matter when you turned it on, you could see somewhere in the continuity. And just
Fabulous.
everybody, it was the most water cooler thing among the nerds at school. Just be like, did you see that insane UFO show? And then the first discussion would devolve to, is the wig in world? And their version of Memory Alpha, I believe, states that the wig is in world.
Good old
Uh,
days, the way when shows used to be fun to actually talk about.
this show is not the most sensible, but it is a lot of fun. At its
Yeah,
best,
it's a fun show. Exactly.
at its best, it makes as much sense as Plato's stepchildren, but it's fun. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and that's
not.
it. It's
Yeah,
entertaining, right? And if it's entertaining, it's like, hey, what the heck? I can give it a pass on a lot of levels, even if it's flawed.
it is a
Hey,
deeply entertaining show.
Hey, Jill's
Hey, we were
back.
talking about
Yay, Jill.
we're, we're talking about UFO, and we found
Yeah,
out that right now 100,000 Deutschmarks is $55,000.
we were
fifty-five
talking about Straker's wig.
pounds.
So
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
going to and we were talking about Straker's bit wig and my belief that it's in world, but I'm going to find out what $55,000 was worth in 1998 while you guys continue about the
Okay.
movie.
It's probably
Usually
worth
it's like a
considerably more than it is now.
well, it was worth more, but
Inflation's crazy now.
It was worth technically probably more. I'm going to find out. I'm going to convert it. I go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics cost of living calculator.
Yes. And hello, Devil Flyer Momentum. Thank you for doing that currency research, Admiral Teague. That is top stuff.
Yeah, I
No
saw a
problem.
10-pound bag of potatoes in the supermarket last week for $9.99.
I knew you were going to mention the potatoes.
Potatoes.
So Edge of Time, hey, Edge of Time says filthy Fridays. Well, yeah,
Filthy
that means
Fridays.
that means that I allow discussion of the filth, which is any Star Trek created after
Actually, Jill, if
2005.
you change the name of the stream to Filthy Fridays, you might get more views.
Probably, but that's not going to happen.
No, I'm just kidding. You know me I hope you know my sense of humor by now.
So, Dark Helmet, yes, I am trying to figure out where you are on Twitter. I have no idea, but I can't find you, so don't worry
He's
about
friends
it.
with me. You can find him on my friend list.
Okay, I'll look later. I'm just trying to get connected because I am communications officer and I take that very seriously.
Are we going to talk any more about Lola, or are we done?
Hey, no, we're not done. I'm just saying hello to the chat. Hello to Captain Infinity. Oh, and Captain Infinity, I'm talking about your movie. I guess you can tell that because there's a picture. I'm not going to talk about the whole thing, just 75% of it, so that people can go finish it if they want to. Oh, and Gorilla's random thoughts is listening in chipmunk mode.
Hmm.
Okay, that means he's listening at 1.5 speed or higher to
Oh
catch up.
my.
So,
Chipmunk mode. I get that
believe it
joke
or
now,
not,
Joe.
with all the dodging
That's funny.
and figuring, the amount of money in question right now has the buying power of $99,535. So it's almost dollar to dollar.
Wow.
It's almost exactly the same. It's 100 grand. This is all over 100
Wow.
grand.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so if Admiral Teague's math is correct, then it is. I could say $100,000 of today's
Link
money.
will go in description. Oh,
Mhm.
can I? Do you want to make me a wrench so I can do that, or do you want me to put it in private chat?
Private chat, please.
Yeah, we could
Tyron.
just say 100,000.
Hey,
It's
Tyron.
easier that way.
Well, this is the link to show the work if anyone wants to check it out.
Tyron Leth. Has Tyron been on here before? I don't remember that name.
No, but he was a wrench for Doomcock for a little while, and
Oh,
he's also been on the Mr. Brown channel with Rennie
okay.
because he's married to Rennie. You know Rennie. Rennie L. She
No,
used
I
to
don't
be
think
Rennie
I do,
A.
actually.
No, you don't know Rennie either. She's really great.
I don't think so. I mean, there's so many people. I
Sure.
don't know everybody yet.
if you wanna catch up with Rennie, she shows up a lot on Miss Martin Muses, and that is a really great channel. If you've not
Can
listened
you
to her,
put a link in the
yes,
private
to
chat for
Miss
that?
Martin.
Thanks, Joe.
Absolutely, I really, Miss Martin Muses is really cool because she talks about books and she
Oh.
reviews literature.
Somehow I've missed her. I don't remember her at all. So maybe I just haven't seen her on anything yet.
Well, sure, there are so many channels, so little time.
Well, I'm probably subscribed to almost 200 channels now, and it's like I never will watch most of them because it's just no time, right?
Right, exactly. Hello, Matt G.
Hey, Matt G.
And Jens Peter. Hey, all right,
Hey, I don't
Jill.
remember that name. Is that a new person too?
No, he's not new. He has a channel, and
Okay.
he
I
likes
just
action movies.
I just don't remember some of these names, but you're like the hub of the community, though, Jill. I mean, you must
And
know everybody.
well, I do know Jens, and he has his soy nerd. Oh, what is it called? I kind of forget.
Oh well, we can't remember everything all the time.
Calling out soy nerds. And so he spends the entire time doing that.
Oh, okay.
And hello to Captain Fandom Nerd, also has a channel. And today is a day where I can just post everybody's channel because I've got little else going on.
And you have all the links handy, I assume.
Well, yeah.
Are you just going to post them in the regular chat then on YouTube?
Oh, and Rennie says to Tyron, "Who cuts your hair? It looks good." So Herc130 says, Filthy Friday plus Scotty R37 equals permanent YouTube ban. Yeah, right. I don't want to encourage Fridays to get any wilder than they already are.
Yeah, let's keep the filth to a minimum.
Festival.
That's the only line
I like that
has.
episode. I love that episode. Is that the first one where Kirk kills a computer just by talking to it?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Wait. Unless you
good.
count
Roger Corby.
Unless you count Roger Corby, he's an android.
Oh,
not
really.
I count Roger Corby. I absolutely count Roger Corby. He's an AI. He's an AI.
He's an AI with the memory of Roger Corby and the experiences of him, but he's not Roger Corby.
Right, he's not Roger Corby. And the other thing is this: he's a highly advanced AI. They can't detect it until he's damaged. Kirk is theorizing about this. They have to start making androids before it occurs to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone. These are highly advanced, and we never see anything like them again.
True.
Right. They were destroyed, and all of the information on how to create them have been also destroyed until we get
Data. He's like a
Data.
parallel. He's a collateral development. Maybe they're exactly the same. Maybe he's completely different, but he has the same capacity. These robots, I don't. The only thing is that maybe they weren't super strong. We see no evidence of that.
Well, Ruck
That's
was pretty
true.
strong. I mean, the way
Yeah,
Ruck
but he was
picked up
a
Kirk was pretty
different
awesome.
kind of. Rock was a different kind of robot.
Yeah, he was one of the original ones. True.
So I wonder if Noonien Singh actually found this research and used it to
Well, I
create.
think Kirk would have made
Roger
his captain's
Corby
log report, right? And so the
Roger
report
Corby
would
made
have been-
notes.
The report
Roger-
would have been in, the Federation database, so I'm sure that, that could have been accessed, right?
Roger
When they were
Corby might have made
creating
a
data.
lot. He might have made a lot of notes, and that android was not aware it wasn't human
Mhm.
to an extent. All he thought he was as human as ever and just had a new body, and that's the mistake they make in Star Trek Picard. Remember, he's always a robot, Jill.
That's right. No, of course. He wasn't Picard. He wasn't even Picard to begin with. But having
No,
died,
he wasn't, and he basically self deletes is his approach. He
Yes.
doesn't.
Well, that's the whole
put
point
up
of the
much of a
show, isn't
fight.
it? To delete Picard, like
right? He said, "Oh, I'm sick anyway. Might as well go."
basically, he's like this old fool who just,
He's
dies.
like C3. I consider him to be almost exactly like C3PO.
Yeah, in what way?
He's afraid. He's
Yes.
not very comfortable in space. He doesn't like
Yes.
adventures anymore.
Yes.
And when
Okay.
told to shut up and go away, he's compliant and does.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much nails it. Yeah.
Rios basically says shut him up or shut him down when he shoves him out of the way to try to save their lives from Picard's useless intellectual assertions. You think I'm dumb and long-winded? Oh, you got some fucking fun coming.
Yeah, boy, it's pretty hard to watch Next Generation anymore. It's sure
No
not.
opportunity. There was no pause.
He just kept talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic so that no one had a chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic.
That sounds like some of the live streams I've been on lately. Everybody talks and talks and talks and talks.
Well, no, I thought of that when you were describing how Picard actually is now. He's become that professor.
Yes.
He's
yes.
also telling
Oh.
people things that the last thing that you need to hear, like, oh, the odds of navigating an asteroid field, that is now Picard's personality. And when the planet of data-like robots with Brent Spiner or Spinner there as some other Soong, like they turn on this genocide machine and then they just turn it off. There's no real reason. They don't explain why. The Romulans are totally right about the machines being genocidal and wanting to kill all organic life. Starfleet shows up and they're just going to fight the Romulans to let the robots decide whether or not they're going to kill us because all of us, they're going to destroy all organic life. And Starfleet is going to fight and die for their right to get wiped out by these robots. It is idiotic.
Well, the only good thing is that they invited these robots, so if you follow the logic, they have killed all organic life form, and everything past this is just some kind of fever dream.
The show goes on in denial of that and gets worse. Rios
The
has
show makes no sense. I mean,
they also Rios has stayed in the past to change Earth because it's so flawed. And
man, I'm glad Roddenberry's not alive still to see this mess.
They've made Gene Roddenberry. You'll meet him. He's the fucking janitor.
Yeah, they did that in Discovery. Well, I had already stopped watching
that
this.
now. I remember
they had cucked him into that.
That's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
You know what really pees me off is like
Makes
Roddenberry is alive and well, and he's allowing this garbage.
He hates his father.
It makes no sense anyway
It's
because
sad.
the ship is supposed to be self-cleaning.
He said he hates his father.
Well, and what was that episode of Next
When
Generation
did
where
he say
there
that?
was that ray going through the
Listen,
ship, cleaning everything?
He didn't say it in so
Remember?
many.
And
Yeah,
Picard
that was
trapped,
that was
and
to
he had
clean
to
off.
escape. That was a
That
good
was-
episode.
That was to clean off the hull, and Tuvok is in it.
That was a
Tuvok
really
is one of
good
the
episode.
Tuvok is one of the kidnappers.
Oh, really?
or one of the hijackers. And
Actually,
wow,
that's one I might have to watch again.
by the way, everybody, do not follow Tim Russ on Twitter. Do not follow Tim
Oh,
Russ.
is
Just
he woke?
I
he's
do,
a-
but I just mute him.
he's a beacon of darkness.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, he was actually on another channel being interviewed about a week ago.
He'll spike the football on your grave if you don't agree with him politically. I don't like him at all.
Yeah, I don't like his politics, but I do
That's
like
not
that he
cool.
does some amateur astronomy. So I'm a little torn with him.
And
And he plays guitar, and that's kind of cool.
I
So
love
if I
that.
just ignore his politics, I'm okay.
I play guitar too, but I mean, you know, and Hitler loved dogs and children. You know, I mean, I like Tim. I like Tuvok. I want to like Tim Russ, but like when he's spiking the foot, I don't like some of these people either. But when he spikes the football on his grave, I'm like, you're embittering people and engendering engendering the attitudes that you think you're against. You're
Well, a lot of
perpetuating-
people do that to Gene,
Yeah, well,
and
that's
he never
pretty
he
common
never
these
did
days,
it back
isn't it?
to anybody. Like he might have done certain things during the show run to get extra money, but he never talked bad about anybody.
At least he doesn't trash his co-stars, I guess. But you know what? Can he tone it down? Like, does he have to? Like, forget his Twitter. Well, why don't we talk a little more about this
Yeah,
one Lola
well-
one thing?
Well,
Let's wrap
I
up the
wanted
movie
to
here, maybe.
I wanted to read some of the chat. Matt G says you cut his hair to Rennie. I was thinking that too when she made that remark, but she says no, Matt G. The hubby won a hair cutting contest on
Wow.
our boy John Talks channel. Oh, neat.
Interesting.
Okay, so also Edge of Time says Yeetus deletus. What is that? What? Oh, and Tyron cuts his own hair, except for the back.
Yeah, it'd be pretty hard to cut the back.
Wow, and Jens went full mohawk. Wow, I'm learning
Wow.
something about people's hair that I didn't know.
You gotta be
here on
dedicated to do
Looking
that.
like Ortegas from Strange New Worlds.
YouTube. Hopefully not.
They got a Mohawk guy on Strange New Worlds. Oh, Jesus.
Not a guy, but it is full mohawk in my
Mohawk
opinion.
woman. Oh, even better.
It's kind of a even worse than a mohawk because I would call it a mohawk undercut. What do you think, Jill?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not interested in her hair. I was trying to listen to what was actually being said in the trailer, but I never.
Those alternate
Body language was all about the trailer. Pop picks up on that.
These alternate timelines that Jill's showing here in those clips, like of the other people that are like minor characters, so to speak, are kind of interesting. You kind of think, gee, some of those look like they might be interesting stories in themselves.
Showing they don't have cell phones here and there.
Right, they don't have cell phones. They use phone cards in their phone booths. And so she's trying to get money.
What did you think of that character at the
It's a very
the guard?
simple. I liked him. He was the best character.
I thought he was likable. Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah. Oh,
he seemed
and
to actually
I
have
don't.
some sympathy for Lola.
I don't show everything, but she got hurt somehow and self-deleted, and I don't show the pictures of that because this movie gets a little graphic or
it was
racy also at times. So, yeah, but no, this is a really simple premise of this movie.
I was thinking the lady that the dad made pregnant kind of looked a bit like an uglier version of Linda McCartney.
Well, actually, in one of the loops,
it just popped in my head when I was watching the film. It's like she looks like Linda McCartney, kind of. Jill's gone.
We can all again see the low rent Mila Jovovich kind of look here. Like
definitely.
And to say low rent Mila Jovovich is not an insult at all because Mila Jovovich, very few as beautiful.
Yeah. Well, this lady's not bad looking. I mean,
she's not bad looking at all, but she was cast and then even enhanced to look like Mila Jovovich, and now we know this is only like 36 months after that movie, so we can see an influence from that style. And that by the way, when I was in Europe in like 2007, they were still obsessing on Mila Jovovich. She was a number one She was the number one promoter of everything in the country, and the Blondie's opening act was Juliette Lewis, and Mila Jovovich toured on her own in the same arenas Blondie was playing in.
Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't know, I
Karen,
did not know she did
she's
music.
not Mila. She just reminds him of Mila.
Right, she is not Mila.
But
She's styled that way.
there's a funny thing in this movie where she screams and she breaks things just as they're screaming.
Oh
Like the
yeah, her
clock.
scream is like intense. Like the scene in the casino when she's winning the money. That's
Yes,
crazy.
that is.
How
And
long did she scream for? Like about half a minute? Like it went on and on and on, and it's like, wow,
definitely more than a few seconds.
that's a set of lungs, I tell you. She was a great screamer. It
And
was
yeah.
almost like a weapon, actually, her scream.
Oh, and who else is? Oh, Dalek451 is here. Hey, welcome, Dalek.
Hey, Alec.
Matt G says, "Tell your loved ones they're not getting anything for Valentine's Day, and you're giving your money to anti-derivative."
Hey, Jill. Maybe you should send Alec a link.
I did.
Oh, you did. Good stuff.
I didn't send him one directly, but there are groups that we follow that he's
Okay.
in. That he has the link, I think.
Yeah, Alec's always fun on the panel.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure that he's in groups where I share the link. If not,
Okay.
I'll send one to him directly. Yeah, I'll just send one directly just in case. I don't know.
Yeah, he might come on. That'd be cool.
Hmm.
I really don't like her father. What a thing to say, eh? Man, daddy's a rat.
Yeah, he's the worst. But that'll turn around on him because in the second loop, it's revealed that the baby that he's having with the affair is probably not even his.
Yeah, and then the third loop, he ends up even worse off, doesn't he?
Yeah, and as is acceptable. That is great. It ends perfectly. So Groundhog Day is more like a fairy tale, and this one is more like
well, Groundhog Day was fun. This is more grim. I love the guy driving. What was it, an ambulance or whatever it is? And he's like got to be the worst driver in the world, like going through that plated glass eventually.
I think this looks cool, the split screen and the clock.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And so she's too late for the first loop. He sticks up the grocery store that has $100,000 in it, or Deutschmarks.
$99,582 buying power in our money.
Yeah. And hello to Herc130.
Hey, Herc.
Hell.
Why is it they always give, like, the security guards are always these old guys that probably couldn't stop anybody from doing anything?
Dark
you never notice that?
Wait, what?
The security guards are always like some old guy that doesn't look like he could really, stop anybody doing anything.
They're rent-a-cops, but they don't have weapons.
Well, I think he had a gun.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, this one actually had a gun.
This movie is German, and because he's older, he fought in World War II, therefore meaning he's pretty scary.
Yeah, so that would make more sense why he knows what he's doing. Dark Helmet says, "I still don't see how you all can watch TV shows with subtitles and know what's going on."
Oh, subtitles are fine. I've been watching movies with subtitles for years. I mean, actually, some of my favorite films have subtitles.
Inflection too. Inflection says it all. If it's a really good movie, the dialogue will of course be important, but body language,
you can follow
direction.
I have no problem following subtitles. I mean, like Akira Kurosawa's films, the Japanese director, like his films are great. And, most of them have subtitles. I prefer the Japanese actually anyway. It's more fun to listen to.
Well, reading is one of my favorite things, so I actually prefer watching things with subtitles, even if it's in English.
I remember when you mentioned that once, Jill.
Yeah, no. If I had my way, everybody would come with subtitles. I would meet somebody on the street, and anything they say, I could read it also.
That would be cool.
So happy.
My phone live captions people, so we're there.
Great. I just need it in sunglasses form now.
I think you can get that. There are like Android glasses.
Sweet. I'm gonna look into that. Jens Peter says Mila Jokovic. was
Mila Jovovich.
Jovovich. Oh, Mila Jovovich. Okay, see, I don't.
Jovovich.
Jovovich?
It's easier than it sounds. It's just Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich.
Yes.
Okay.
She was in the Resident Evil films, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Yen
where I
says,
Married to the
mainly remember
director.
her from. I like the first 3 Resident Evil films. A lot of people don't like the series, but I thought the first few were really good.
She made them with her husband.
I like the second film in particular. I thought that was a really good, action film.
5 with Ruby Rose is just the pinnacle.
my only problem with Resident Evil is whenever I meet Resident Evil fans in real life, they call me Jillian Valentine.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Right? Because she's a character in that. I have no idea what she. I still haven't played the games myself.
No, I haven't played the games either.
It doesn't have any impact on the movies. They're only transcendentally related.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So, and Jens says Mila was in the new Hellboy films. The films was okay, but with a soy ending. Okay.
The first 2 Hellboy films were really, really great.
Her and her husband are back in America and back in Hollywood. They had like a huge deal. They got like $1 billion at once to make those 5 movies over the course of time they did. So she's back in Hollywood now, and I think her husband is the Event Horizon guy. There's 2 Paul Andersons, and I'm not sure which one is which. Just like everyone else.
Oh, hello to
Hey, Raymond.
Raymond Feliciano. He has a channel here on YouTube, King Dolphin TV. Make sure to check it out. Tomorrow is going to be Ladies' Night on his channel. That means that the ladies are going to take over his live stream. And
so if I go on tomorrow, do I have to wear a wig then, or?
Well, it's going to start off with the ladies taking over the panel, okay. And if they decide they probably will allow others on later.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's gonna
Hey, it's
be
always
fun,
up
I'm
to the
sure.
ladies, right? I mean, the ladies ultimately make all the decisions. That's the way I figured it out.
Definitely for Ladies' Night, that's going to be the case.
I endorse the concept of ladies.
It's not tomorrow. It's on the 10th. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, that's a week from now then.
Okay, I was getting ahead of myself. Oh, that's not even on.
That's next
It's
Friday.
not even on. It's not even on a Saturday. It's on Friday.
It's Friday.
Friday before the Super Bowl. It's 2 days before the Super Bowl, and the day before I see William Shatner live.
Cool. I saw Shatner live about 20-something years ago.
But Raymond, are you still going to have a show tomorrow? Just cause. What's the topic for Just Cause tomorrow then? If it's not that, because I forget. But no. So, yeah. While I'm waiting for that answer.
Is this the second repetition of the
no,
time loop?
This one's still the first one. They're gonna they're
it's just
robbing
about over though. We're getting to the climax of the first loop here.
Yeah, they're robbing the store
and it does not go well.
No, it doesn't. This young guy
he panics and it's like, oh,
I
thought there should be a lot more blood though.
You know, good
if
for
you
him though. He got us
in the heart. Wouldn't it be blood spurting out everywhere?
Let's just applaud his marksmanship, center mass. I mean, did he fire just once?
But he didn't even mean to shoot her. He just panicked and squeezed the trigger. Poor guy. I kind of felt sorry for him, actually. He seemed like maybe it was his first day on the job, so to speak. And he's like, oh, crap, what did I do?
Okay, so correction on Raymond's show. His ladies' night will be on February 11th. 11. So the 11th of February on Saturday. Cool. Will be the ladies' night.
The night before the Super Bowl.
And just a regular Just Cuz will be on Sunday the 5th. Oh, okay. So Just Cuz isn't tomorrow. It's on Sunday. Great.
So it's on Super Bowl day?
Well, no. This weekend's not Super Bowl.
Oh, well,
next weekend on the 12th.
I know about American football.
Super Bowl is the 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got into
Okay.
the Super
So I'm
Bowl.
glad I got that squared away. I didn't know any of that. So hello to Dalek says, what film is this? This is Run Lola Run, and I'm talking about it because yesterday was Groundhog Day, and I talked to Scotty R37 about the famous time loop movie Groundhog Day, obviously. And today I thought it'd be kind of funny to talk about another time loop movie. And this one is Run Lola Run, where she has to go through time loop in order to save her boyfriend who got in trouble with these gangsters. And Captain Finity is completely confused.
So what about this scene when they're in bed? I mean, I don't know if this is a flashback or.
This is a flashback.
Yeah.
Obviously, a flashback.
Okay, I figured it must be, but
Yeah,
I wonder,
they're just
is there?
talking about their insecurities in their relationship, so I don't really
Yeah,
focus too much on
yeah.
it.
I guess they're just trying to add some depth to the characters with that scene, I assume.
Yes.
Hmm.
And hello to Lemon Pie.
Hey, Lemon.
Captain Infinity, what are you confused about? I'm confused about your confusion.
So that's the end of the first loop.
Yeah, that's the end of the first loop. That's right. And we'll move on to the next one in a bit. Oh, I like Lemon Pie says hello to Scotty. Scotty's not here right now, but we do have PvP and Admiral Teague. Scotty is away on an away mission. He might be here later, but maybe not. This one probably in soon, but we'll
Well, I
see
just hope
how it
Scotty's
goes.
not wearing a red shirt
I don't know.
when he's on his
I don't
away
know what
mission.
he's wearing.
That was a red
So
shirt joke.
and
Speaking of red, back to the phone.
right. And so this time the guy on the stairs trips her and she falls, but it doesn't really affect her too much. She gets back up and limps only a little bit.
I have a question, Jill. Like, it seems like the parents are fairly wealthy people. Why are they living in this scummy building with guys that hang out on the stairs tripping people with their dog? Like,
I have
it
no,
seems like a
well,
low rent building.
no. Well, obviously it's because she's independent. She's not living with her parents.
But isn't her
And
mother in the room saying, "Get me
oh,
some shampoo when you go out"?
oh, is that her mother?
Well, I thought it was.
I don't know. Is that her mom? I don't
I
know
think,
who that is.
yeah,
It
she's like,
feels she feels like a roommate to me, not even a mom. Like, go
hmm,
get some
okay.
shampoo.
I
I
just
would
assumed
just
she was the mother.
I
But you're
just want to
right.
point
It could
point
be.
out here in German culture,
Doubt it.
it is uncommon to move out of your parents' house. What you usually
Oh,
do
really?
is, yeah, you build onto your parents' house and make it bigger and improve it, and you all cohabitate. But it's a bigger house, so like you kind of stay out of each other's
Oh, in that case,
sections.
Interesting.
Hey, that's what they taught me in
I
my
never knew
German.
that about German culture.
I,
That's
I
cool.
took German in college, and it's an impossible language for me to learn. But I learned a lot about their culture because you have to learn that too. And that was,
That's cool.
in Germany, it's more common. Now, I don't know if it's commonplace, but it was called much more common
Huh.
for people to stay in their own family home and extend it. And they built with the top quality material, knowing you wanted to, because at the core of the house, you got like maybe a 300-year-old house, or who knows, because Germany's
Mm-hmm.
old. It's in an old part
True.
of the world.
True.
well, in that case, PvP's question makes more sense
Yeah, I
than
just
it.
assumed it was the mother. That's just what popped into my head. I mean, I have
Mhm.
no idea if she
No,
actually
you're
is the
right.
mother, but
So that answers it
seemed
for
like
me.
she
That
was.
is the mother, and I
Awesome.
don't know why they live where they live. That is
Yeah, it's
not
a
addressed
scummy
in this
building
movie.
with creepos hanging out in the hallway like that.
Mm. And in this case, the lady that she bumps into every time with the baby, in the second loop, she wins the lottery. And
Yeah, looks like she's enjoying it too.
so Captain Finity says, I'm confused about Raymond's show and what's happening, when and with whom and why. Raymond says, tomorrow I have an away mission, which is why Just Cuz is moved to Sunday. So
Oh, everybody's
Sunday
on away
he will
missions.
have, yeah, Sunday, 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 Sunday. Visit King Dolphin TV for Just Cuz. Usually open topic stream too.
Wow. There you go. Raymond
They are
made a
deeply
comment about that.
enjoyable, and they're the most fortunate of YouTube channels because I just lurk there. I rarely comment.
Bowling. Manchi's talking about bowling. I missed something. Jens Peter said Germany puts um, little boys with men, so maybe it's girls with women.
Hmm.
I
I'm
don't
not
know
sure how to
what.
take that comment. It
I
sounds like Filthy Friday for sure.
oh my God, PvP, shut up.
Sorry.
You made that worse. You
Oh,
made
I'm
something
sorry.
that was. You made something
I
that
guess I was channeling
didn't
my
make
inner
sense.
Scotty. I was channeling my inner Scotty for a second there.
You made, and you
Because
just
Scotty would have
threw
made
it
that joke.
into.
You know he would have.
Rennie L says, "Yeah, Raymond, I have worked from home all week due to snow and ice.
Oh yeah, I
Tex
hate snow and ice.
Texans can't drive in it. That's right, we can't.
We
Everything
got
shuts down
we
if
got snow
if it
on
snows here.
Tuesday. Actually, it was not great fun.
We're, snow and
Driving to
ice,
work.
no big deal. You got to know that up here, but it is cold in New York.
Mhm.
At 20 degrees, New Yorkers start to acknowledge it. Like freezing, 32 degrees, it's cold, but like we're ready for that. Like we're New Yorkers, but at 20, that's kind of like a sharp line. Once you hit the teens, people get pissy.
Yeah, it was cold here for a while too, about a week ago, and it's like when you got the Arctic air coming down and it's like -5 or whatever. It's not fun.
We call it a tourist weather front.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is a great scene when she's smashing up her daddy's office.
Well, yeah, because he slaps her, so she just gets
Yeah.
pissed and throws things
Oh,
around and
she has
decides to
every right
steal
to.
the money.
Yeah.
It's a
Well, she
little
has
bit
every
like
right to
romper
trash
stomp.
the office, not necessarily to steal the money.
Well, daddy's a jerk. I have no sympathy for daddy.
This is kind of a little like what we see in romper
Oh, this lady
stomper.
had a nice ending here.
Yeah,
She
she
found
did.
love.
She found love and she got to be a dominatrix. I did not get a screen cap
Oh
of
yeah,
that,
I love that
but
shot. That was hilarious. Well,
yeah,
she met the man of her dreams. I mean, they were suited for each other, right? They were both into the S&M.
they were. And, consensual adults.
Not that I know anything about that. I've only read about it, over the years.
Sure.
Oh, this guy, he has to go down to the vault, right, to get enough money.
Right? I was very suspenseful, but nothing happens. He gets saved.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I thought maybe he'd come back with a gun or something, but
By the way, the crazy BDSM club in the 90s in New York City was called the Hellfire Club after the comic books.
Interesting.
Yeah, then they
I don't know
changed the
about
name
that.
to the Vault.
The vault.
Hellfire Club. I
Vault.
think there's an episode of the Avengers,
That's
the
it
classic
was
British
named.
show. There's an
No,
episode with Emma Peel in this really amazing. It's almost like leather. It's like some kind of leather bondage costume, and I think the Hellfire Club were like the bad guys in the episode, and that
well,
was a good one.
they're comic book bad guys too, and the show was named after them, aren't they? X-Men enemies. The
Yeah, I really
Hellfire
don't know.
Club, and from the cartoons, it's renamed the Circle.
Huh? Okay. Not familiar
Come
with the
on,
comic.
help me out, X-Men animated series fans. Where are you? Don't make me die on this hill alone.
Speaking of dying, Lola's boyfriend dies in the second loop, and then it starts
Yeah,
over again.
he gets hit by the truck or whatever, right?
This is the last loop, and she leaps over the dog this time.
I kind of like the way they animated her running down the stairs. It must have saved them a bundle
So
of money.
that is all the screenshots I got for it. So I'm gonna stop screening.
Okay.
So,
you didn't get
well,
the
no,
last loop.
I didn't get the end of it because
Darn.
I ran out of time to grab screenshots. But also, it's better to go if you want to see how it ends. Go watch the rest of the movie to see what happens in the last loop.
There you go.
If you want to see the American version, I'm thinking check out the Butterfly Effect with Keanu Reeves and Amy Smart.
Keanu Reeves, yeah. Wait,
It's kind of
the
the
Butterfly
same.
Effect. I thought that was Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's been a long time, and that's not the greatest movie, but it seems kind of
It
inspired by
may
this.
not be the greatest movie, but it's the greatest Ashton Kutcher movie.
Hey guys,
Heady praise, Jill.
Guys, I just looked up the Avengers, the classic British show from the 60s, and the episode A Touch of Brimstone does feature a group called the Hellfire Club.
Well, we have a
I
tradition of
knew I
naming.
remember that, and that's a really good one. Like Dana Riggs' costume, man, you got to see that episode to believe it.
Well,
I couldn't believe they got that on TV back then, because she is looking very, very nice.
in New York, we had a habit of naming the punk rock and underground dance clubs
Yeah,
after fictional spy organizations, but the bad guy ones. There was a dance club that was infamous called Thrush, which were the bad guys from Man from Uncle.
yeah, I love
There was
Thrush.
a place called just plain old Spies. There was
Mhm.
another place called 007s, and there
Cool.
was a club called Spectre, and that was just
That's
the
nice.
New York
Wow.
area club thing. And then Danceteria was just
I guess New
a
York was a
phenomenon.
pretty interesting town back in those days, eh?
New York has probably always been pretty interesting
Mm. It seems like it's had its ups and downs, though, right?
since at least 1662. Yeah, I guess it's had its ups and downs, but it's a good place to live. I love it. It's got great weather. We have 4 whole seasons. I don't want to go outside today though, because you know what? It's still 21 degrees, so it's still not cold. But once it hits
Yeah.
19, I'm going to start complaining like the rest of us.
Yeah.
That is cold for me. In
Well, complaining about the
Texas,
weather is always fun in the winter.
we're pretty dead when we get to the 30s.
It's a different kind of cold in the inland continental, and I think it probably feels like the teens here. But because I felt the cold in Florida, felt colder, and
Man, G
I'm
said,
used to it.
if you can go shooting, you can play darts.
By the way, in the
That's
Touch of
true.
Brimstone episode, Emma Peel, the character that Diana Rigg played in that series, she's got this spiky collar she wears towards the end of the episode that you really gotta see it to believe it. It's really something else.
That sounds like Marcy's outfit in the
It's
episode
fun.
of Married with Children, where they go to Lower Uncton.
Oh yeah, she's got this
And
like this leather suit, and she's got this crazy collar. It's like, man, they really got creative in that one.
so Rennie L has to go back and focus on work. She says, have a great rest
Okay.
of the stream. Good to see you, Jill. Good to see you, Rennie. And you know what? You caught the part of the stream where I talked about a movie, and I'm finished talking about it. So that's a pretty good time to go, actually. So good. So have a great rest of your work day, and hopefully you have some fun a little later on after work. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Fridays.
And Matt G says Macca's at Rennie A, which is, of course, what Australians refer to call McDonald's.
Ah,
I
right.
didn't
They
know
do,
that.
don't they? Yeah, actually, I have a channel I watch with an Australian, excuse me, Australian lady who does sells books on eBay, which is why I sub to her channel because I do dabble in eBay myself. And yeah, she's called it Macca's or whatever on her streams at times. It's interesting, isn't it, how the different countries have slightly different
I
expressions for things?
don't know, but I got to give it to Hungry of all people for being indetectable as an Australian in his accent until he starts getting crazy. If he gets excited, it starts to come out a little if he's like excited, but otherwise he sounds like a Midwesterner.
I don't really hear it. I don't
I
hear
guess
it
that's
at
the way
all.
it
He
is
said
with
he
lot
made
of
a
folks, though.
conscious effort to make himself sound less rural and more sophisticated so he could increase
Alright.
his work prospects. And I respect that because
Well, that makes sense, I guess.
as crazy as it sounds, my Queen's accent was once much worse.
I don't really notice much of an accent there, really.
Raymond says
Huh?
Hungry Boy has no accent.
Yeah,
the way-
he speaks with a Hollywood accent, almost none.
Speaking of
like
accents,
neutral.
do you guys hear an accent when I talk? I'm just curious.
Yes,
Really? Wow.
yes, and
Gosh.
Scotty.
It's odd, like of course we don't notice it at all because that's the way we've always
Scotty tries
sounded,
to
right?
change his too, but he can't. It's just
You can hear
It's
him
funny, though.
trying to. God love him.
I think a lot of us in North America, on either side of the border, kind of sound similar enough, right? Like you guys sound pretty. I mean, you guys could like probably pass for Canadians if you're up here.
No, you guys are as close to us to say the Austrians are to the Germans. We're very similar, but like the dialects are definitely different, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, we definitely have our differences.
Like, for instance, you say 1.76 liters. We say a gallon.
Well, yeah. And a bloody liter is way too expensive.
And
Oh man, it's so
you guys
expensive.
have only a state liquor store, whereas we can buy liquor
No,
liquor
no,
anywhere we
no, no, no,
want
no,
in
no, no,
most
no,
of
no, no.
America.
We have private liquor stores here. We have had for quite a number of
Oh,
years
I
now.
heard a
Oh,
poop.
do you now? Okay.
Oh, we got tons of man. There's private liquor stores all over the bloody
Does that
place in
mean
this town.
someone's joined us? Hey,
Yeah.
hello.
It looks like
It's Pee-wee.
it's Pee Wee Herman.
How dare you? Tell me
Oh
your
my
big
God.
buddy.
Hail, Captain.
Hey,
I'm a
Captain.
loner daddy, a rebel. Hello, gentlemen. Jill.
Hello, welcome to the stream. You
Thank
just
you. Thank
entered
you,
the
sure.
stream after we finished talking about that movie, and so I finally saw the movie that you've been asking for me to see for a while. At least one of them. So I have
One
seen
of them
Run
being in
Lola Run.
It's like the German Groundhog Day. Ich
It
bin
is.
Groundhog Dayen.
Except I think that she doesn't remember her previous loops. She just keeps getting looped.
There's great. We've got a topic to get into. It's apparently she doesn't, but she does. She's remembered how to unlock the safety on the gun.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe her. Oh, okay. So things do carry forth in the loops.
But that's interesting because that means there's only one evidence that it does, and without that evidence, we would be naturally led to assume that it doesn't, but it does. That's your
Here's the
one clue:
thing.
the
That's
safety on the gun. So
that's
she does
muscle
have a
memory.
memory. So she does have a memory, like in Groundhog Day.
But that's subconscious. It's muscle memory.
She's still learning. The point is, she learns from one to another. She does have a memory from one to another.
My question is, when
But
the
maybe
film
not a
ends,
conscious one.
when
Everyone
the
at the
film
same
when
time,
the film
please. It works best
ends
that way.
with the happy ending at the end of the film, is that the final time they loop, or do they loop again?
Let's loop again like we did last. What did they loop after the movies? Maybe
Yeah,
in Groundhog
like
Day
they
after
walk
the
off,
movies.
in the happy ending,
I
right?
can't ask.
With a
I
bag
can't
of
answer
money
the
that she
question if
won
you're
at the
talking,
casino.
and now
But I
just once
mean,
again,
is
just
that
everyone's
really the end,
talking.
or
And
does it go on?
so I'm trying to answer the question.
Please answer.
I've given up now.
Oh well.
It is essentially a happy ending when you get to it. And
Seems that way.
Good. It's good. It's a good time. It's fun to watch her run through each loop and change everything around her, just by virtue of her being different each time, just slightly.
Yeah, well, it's just lucky she got that third chance, right?
And
to make everything right.
it's a good demonstration of the chaos of the butterfly effect. Just doing something different, and everybody else's fates are slightly different each time.
Oh, I love the idea of the random chance element. I mean, that's totally like real life, right? I mean, you just never know. You walk out the door, and if you walk out 5 minutes earlier or 5 minutes later, your life could totally change.
Tony
Well,
Stark.
that's sliding doors. That's if you want a story that explores the difference, how one tiny change can affect your life, but without the learning of that sliding doors. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Sliding
In
doors.
that
Okay,
one,
I've heard of
the
that.
two Gwyneths don't meet each other, so that's all about the butterfly effect. But it's got no time travel and no learning. Brilliant.
No learning. That's
no
fun.
learning. It's two different Gwyneths.
Because Groundhog Day has way too much learning.
Yeah, maybe Run Lola runs in the middle. And as for Edge of Tomorrow, then it's somewhere that fits somewhere between Groundhog Day and Run Lola Run, I guess. Maybe do that one next year.
Next year. Well, yeah, there's lots of other loop stories that I could do next year.
Yeah. As you know, I like analysing the mechanics, and I used to put sliding doors in the same category as Groundhog Day. And it's talking with Scotty. I was like, no, she doesn't meet herself. She doesn't learn. It's not the same person. It's two Gwyneths. It's a different mechanism, different category.
Yeah. So Tony Stark says, "Hey Raymond, I miss you guys at the pod," and Raymond says, "We miss you too. Can't wait to get you. Can't wait for you to get back." And it turns out, I think Tony Stark said he'll be ready by this weekend.
That is great news. Hooray for Tony Stark. He's been through his ups and downs with this computer situation. We're glad to hear it, buddy. We're glad you're going to be back soon. We missed you.
Yeah, and speaking of voices, he says he knows many voices and accents.
I know a great many voices.
And
You
did
pay
I
the
say
price for your lack of vision.
did I say goodbye to Tyron? I hope I did. Bye, Tyron.
I think you'll find this microphone is quite operational.
And Raymond says, I have been accused of having a New England accent.
I've been accused of having a limey accent. Can you imagine such a thing? Such poppycock and balderdash. How dare they? I'm from New
Ouch.
Jersey, clearly.
I've been accused of sounding like an idiot, and I'm not disputing it.
Yeah, I've had the same experience.
I had some person tell me they thought I was from Rego Park.
And we're not going to ever tell anyone what that means.
That's really good.
That's a really good idea not to tell people what Rego Park means.
Rego
Joe,
Park, still. I bet you haven't got a Rego Park in Texas.
I don't
By the
even
way,
know.
I
I lost the thread.
Rego Park is a neighborhood in Queens, and the name is just an acronym. And me and Captain talked about it one day privately.
Not even, it's
and we
a
were just-
half-assed acronym. It's a half an acronym.
It's very heavy. Yes, yeah, it's really dumb. It's not really an acronym. It's a lazy, invented word.
It's an exaggerated It's an acronym that ran out of control. They took the first two letters of really good and made
it real good. Rego Park, Queens is from the Really Good Housing Company. They built really good houses, so they renamed the town Rego Park. And it used to be a swamp, but it's now the river is underground. Flushing
Meadows.
Right, and Flushing Creek mostly runs underground now, and it runs under my street and a few others, and that's what used to divide Jackson Heights from Flushing, and that's why they built Rego Park in reclaimed swampland, but it's perfectly fine now. It's above ground because the stream ran downhill to the river.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the bluff overlooking the river, and I can see Manhattan really well.
Cool.
This week on Reclaiming Parts of New York. Next week, Forest Hills.
My window faces the 7 train, but my roof, I can go up there in the summertime and get some sun and watch and look at the city and see things.
Nice.
I can see the individual windows on the Empire State Building. It's really cool.
Wow.
The building is beautiful.
That's really cool. Man, you must have a great location there.
Yeah. Oh, I live in like not so great neighborhood, but it's very close to Manhattan.
Well, hey.
Man,
it's
said about
expensive, though,
Hell's
isn't it,
Kitchen.
New York now?
I'm good with a lightsaber. That's why I can live here.
Right.
Hey, Jill.
Yes.
Can I mention a
Jill,
film
how's she gonna
that
segue
kind
back
of
to
reminds
One
me
Lola
of what we watched?
Speaking
No, I'm
of-
not ready for. Well, I don't know. Wait, what was the question, PvP? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to mention a film that I really like that kind of has the feeling of random events in life. The way
Last
it's
Jedi.
structured. It's called Slacker.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It
Yes,
was
about a
like,
bunch of slackers.
came out in 1991.
Cool.
Richard Link.
Yeah, in Europe, it was just
Linklater
renamed
was the
Workshire
director.
Hippie.
It's a really good
I'm
film,
so
but it's
sorry.
it's
Dark
like this
Helmet.
character wanders through the film, and it's like he just meets all these people randomly
Mhm.
as he's wandering through the film, and you kind of get all their little life stories as the film goes on. But it's like it's constantly changing, right? Because none of these secondary characters, are central in any way. It's just he kind of wanders into and out of their lives, and it's quite a very fun, interesting film.
Oh, cool.
Now,
Yeah, it's
Now,
worth
That
sounds
checking
fun.
out. Slacker
Here's
is an awesome
Sounds
film.
like an anthology kind of thing.
here's a
And-
film.
Florida, yeah.
Dark Helmet spilled his coffee. I'm so sorry to hear
Uh-oh.
that.
We
Also,
hope that we
No.
made you. We hope it's because we made you laugh.
Lemon Pie says that's what you get for announcing you sipped it. Dark Helmet. Yeah, I know he's like, but
what
I
you
only
get.
sipped it. It was hot.
By the
Dark
way,
Helmet, this one's for you. Cheers.
But are you drinking coffee or? Oh, well, yeah, of course you're drinking coffee. It's morning time.
there we go.
Yeah,
By the
it's
way,
coffee. Well, with a bit of LSD in it.
The German
Take
movie
up
I
the day.
most recommend, and it's a really well-made movie, and it's really informative. Everyone should see Downfall at least once.
Downfall. Okay, so
Downfall.
you
I have
guys
not
are.
heard of that one.
I have a list now. It has Sliding Doors, Slackers, and now Downfall.
The final
It's-
countdown, another time travel film.
Downfall
Oh,
is a
no.
really well acted, really good account of the last 10 days of World War II.
The most
But
bizarre
it's
time travel movie. The most bizarre. Have you seen Looper?
the most bizarre time travel movie is Look
no,
Who's
I haven't
Back.
seen Looper.
Don't bother. It's the worst. Can you imagine? The my vote for the worst time travel mechanics in any time travel film is Looper. Kels approves.
Yeah, you
Is it
can't
really
go to
that bad? I've never seen it.
you can't be sent to the past to kill yourself. That kind of takes
Right.
out the middle.
Don't even. Exactly.
The captain's absolutely right. Ryan Johnson
What?
just writes nonsense.
And just lampshades it. Bless his cotton soul. And
He is such
onion.
a-
He cheats in glass onion too. News just
It's-
in.
I hate the insincerity of Ryan Johnson movies. I hate it.
Well, it's good with a longer pattern of movies to look at. He basically cheats the audience. He can't write twists. He can't write. He
He's as
lies to
phony.
the audience.
He's as
Constantly.
phony as the pronunciation of his name he uses to sound more important.
Was it Archon?
No, his name's Ryan. Come on, like
It's Archon Johnson. Come on.
Hey guys, I'm Tiag
Archon.
now. I'm gonna be.
Archon.
I'm guilty.
I just posted information about Slacker in the private chat, Jill. If
Oh
you
yeah,
want to take a
Wikipedia
read
for
later.
the Slackers. Okay, thank you.
It's
And
a fun
Lemon
film.
Pie. Thank you. Lemon Pie says clearly Captain is as American as apple pie, and Raymond is from
Yep,
Cleveland.
I like my Cup of Joe. Cup of Joe, even.
Dark Helmet says the Final Countdown is one of my favorite movies. It was fun.
Good movie. It's a really, really good movie. It's fun and it's funny in a couple of ways. And the Honey Fitz JFK's yacht is in the movie.
Yes.
Huh.
And Dalek 451 says Groundhog Day is a quintessential time loop movie which set the foundation for so many other shows and movies like it. It's parodied countless times in pop culture too. Yeah, and it's even in the English lexicon to mean something that is repeating.
Something that is repeating.
Yeah.
What's the Star Trek
Yep, the throat
episode?
namer.
What's the TNG episode where they go through things 3 times because they had promised some aliens that they would forget they met them and Data had to keep deceiving them?
Is that well, I know that there's cause and effect. Is that a different No, that one's a different one. So
Yeah, I
this
forget the
one
name
is-
of it, but
This
we
one
know
is
the one
the
we're
one where
talking about.
Data has to put 3s everywhere.
He keeps pulling 3s at the poker game, and they
Oh
keep,
yeah,
yeah,
I remember
yeah,
that one.
yeah,
that was a
and,
good
and
episode.
it suddenly restarts after the first commercial, and you're like, wait, what? What the actual fuck? That was a really good and very
I like
different
that
Star Trek
episode.
episode. It was
Yeah, that was-
very different. That was
very good.
like maybe that was a blind script that someone with no agent sent in. It's just so different.
Yeah, it was a good
What's the
episode.
first person to do Groundhog? What about Superman the movie? Is that the? Would you count that the same thing as Groundhog Day and Run Lola Run?
On a limited level, he does turn back time.
Yeah, it depends if it's a time reset or if it's time travel. I don't know what.
Yeah,
what
I'd say
when he's
Superman's like Groundhog. It's a time reset because if you time travel, there's 2 of you. So with Superman and Groundhog Day, there's still just the one person going back. Although Superman's more proactive. So maybe Superman the movie was the first Groundhog Day repeating thing.
God love him. He was the greatest Superman, but Christopher Reeve in his first movie, he kind of destroys all stakes by showing he has infinite rewinds. He has infinite rewinds. We see it.
And there's no stakes. Good point. Mind you, the first Superman to turn back time without time travel was Jennifer Lawrence.
We can't forget that. I love Christopher Reeve and I love those movies, but that's a major flaw that he has infinite rewinds and they show it to us right away.
Okay, so which movie are you talking about?
Superman won by
Superman.
saving.
Oh yeah,
When he
right,
saves
when
Lois.
he saves Lois, yes, because she
Yeah,
dies.
Superman has infinite rewinds.
Basically, if Bill Murray could do it by choice, he'd be like Superman, but without the flying and the big S on his chest.
There's not even a cost to Superman rewinding stuff. He has infinite rewinds, and he rewinds time, or they'd be remarking on the stars being out of place.
Maybe you can only rewind once a year or something. There's a rewind limit. You never know with Superman. They
I'll
keep
have
going
to
back.
He'll have to wait a whole year to go back and fix things.
I'll have to ask Clobby about that.
Yeah.
You know what? Kwabi's going to have to admit that that is a little bit of a problem in movie one. As much as we love it, and I love the movie, and I don't want to criticize it, but plot holes are real. You know, it's infinite rewinds kind of lowers your stakes. We can't argue it. I mean, you can argue it if you want. I won't tell you you're wrong, but I say if you have infinite rewinds, what's at stake?
Maybe he just had the one rewind, just that one occasion, because he really wanted that chick to live. Come on, Lois.
Well, yeah, it is kind of a plot flaw, I suppose, but it did emotionally. It made sense. Like the audience really, bought into it in the theater. I remember.
I must say, I didn't even back. So when I was a lowercase g, before I started this whole thing about time, I was like, you can't just rewind stuff. No, it did my head in. I always hated it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you know what?
it kind of didn't make sense, yeah, but
JFK wasn't worth rewinding to save. What about everyone else that he decides to let die by not rewinding
Right.
time?
What about Mark Kent? What about his parents?
Yeah, what about Bruce Wayne's parents? What about Thomas Wayne? He could have saved Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne.
Fuck him, doesn't care. Screw Wayne.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't fucking care about anyone but Lois. He could rewind time anytime he wants and set everything right, but he doesn't. And he's got super speed.
Didn't rewind for Thanos, did he? Yeah, all right.
Okay, well,
so what? Come on, Suits.
No, but you know what? Between the infinite rewinds and the fact that he can move as fast as light, I mean, Superman. What's the excuse for him letting anybody get hurt?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And Raymond says that was not Superman 1, it was 2. Was there time travel in Superman 2 as well? Because I've only ever seen the first movie.
I don't remember time travel in the second film.
There's no time travel in any Superman film. Remember that it's, as Jill says, it's the Groundhog Day trope or the repeats of the day. But it's not. It's obviously it's time travel adjacent, obviously, because you're messing back with time travel. You generally move your body. Maybe that's forcing us to make a story with time travel. The character travels in time. If the character wakes up in bed a day earlier, they haven't time traveled. The entire universe has been rewound, or they're in a new timeline. Something that's not clear in Groundhog Day.
You're saying rewinding time's different. He's not traveling time. He's just rewinding it and doing it again.
Yeah, it's separate from time travel. Yes, it's time travel.
It's time manipulation. Time manipulation might be the term.
Well, the difference is, I like this because this is like I had to think about it and figure out why. So, Jill, as always, check my notes. But basically, with time travel, the character goes back in time. With this, Groundhog Day, Run Lola Run, Superman, the movie, and Galaxy Quest, the entire universe gets rewound.
Yeah, Galaxy Quest.
Everyone goes back. That's a huge, huge difference that not everyone gets.
You know what, Jill? There's your poll. Do you believe Superman has infinite rewinds? Yes or no?
Okay.
Oh no!
But definitely,
do you believe we should have polls about everything? Yeah, Galaxy Quest
is definitely a reset.
I know the poll, Jill. Do you
exactly?
Like this poll, yes
Galaxy Quest is more like Groundhog Day and less like Back to the Future.
Yes.
See, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. Edge of Time says the best voice in Sha-Na was Bowser, not Jennifer Lawrence.
That's true. Bowser could really sing, and they were great at Woodstock.
Dalek 451 says the TNG episode was called Cause and Effect. The Enterprise is caught in a time loop where the ship keeps getting destroyed before the loop starts again. Admiral Teague is actually talking about a different
Cause
Star
and
Trek
Effect
episode.
is where they crash into Kelsey Grammer, right?
Hell.
Yeah, that's the one with Kelsey Grammer.
Right, they crash into Kelsey Grammer.
No, that was crazy.
It's a different episode.
Hello, I'm
actually,
listening.
Alec. Admiral Teague is talking about a different episode that doesn't have time travel. It actually doesn't have time travel. What it is that there's these xenophobic aliens who don't like the Enterprise and they're going to kill them. And the Enterprise is like, no, wait, don't kill us. Just wipe our memory of having known you. And so everybody's
alien afraid of other people, a xenophobic xenomorph. Brilliant.
Just
Maybe that'll
remember,
help me find
if
it.
we
Made a
only
big
knew the names of the
big-
aliens, I could find them on Memory Alpha. I'm trying to Google it.
Hey, so if you had from another planet a warrior princess that was afraid of other types of people, would that be Xena the xenophobic xenomorph? La, 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 la.
Oh, Clues. Raymond Feliciano says the episode could be called Clues.
I think it is. That sounds about right. It's later on. Wesley Crusher is gone.
Thank God.
If I'm correct, we don't have a Wesley on there anymore. Yeah, you know what? Will Wheaton, what happened to him? As far as he seemed okay at first on social media, and then he said some stuff. And then, when he acted in the Picard season 2 show, his delivery was horrible, and he had been one of our better child actors. I was stunned
I
by
never saw him on that.
Oh, he's the traveler. He shows up as his own traveler.
Oh
God.
my God.
He's a traveler now, and he takes away one cast member to save him some money. He's like, "You're gonna come with me, Dosh Soshi."
I miss it when the last time we saw Wesley was just him being cut out of the wedding in Nemesis.
He gets a reaction shot. But who would really want him around anyway? He's just, he's Bev's annoying son. At the end of the day, he turns out to be Bev's annoying son. I wish they had gone forward with the thing that maybe there was an affair and he was Picard's son, because then we could have really had some fun with Wesley.
That
But they
would have been
abandoned.
interesting, actually, because it always hinted that Beverly and Picard were kind of maybe going to get it on, right?
It was just a big tease.
Kind
No,
of
but they
maybe.
Oh, yeah,
How
it
do
was
you
a huge
kind of
tease.
maybe get it on?
I believe
I'm
that,
gonna
that
kinda
there was a
sort of
sexual.
feel this
They actually
condom.
did get it on behind the
I
scenes.
believe they got it on. No, I believe that Picard and
sounds
Bev
great.
had a fling after her husband died while she was like drunk one night, and like Picard couldn't help himself because she's so beautiful, and like
She was on the
I would
rebound, was she?
look. He's a better man than me,
It's
and
like,
if
he's
she's
gone. Well, let's get something else.
if she threw herself at me while she was grief stricken, I like just be like, make sure Wesley's asleep. And
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
go,
Beverly, man, I wouldn't say no. Man, she was pretty damn hot. And I like redheads anyway, so.
I have to admit there was a reason I sent your husband on that away mission.
That's an interesting alternate
That's a good one.
timeline. Lemon Pie says, "Is Scotty being initiated as an Archon?" And well, he is
Arshawn.
And yeah, so he is of the body, and he is, I guess, I don't know. No.
But is he doing festival today? Is that why he's not here?
No, not festival. No,
Okay.
he's doing something important. So Tony Stark says, "Superman rewinding looks like he's just turning the planet back, but let us use physics. He's flying faster.
Not physics.
He's flying faster than light. The speed faster ratio back. Actually, how else would the rocks roll off Lois?"
Tony Stark's right. I mean, we have to kind of augur it a little bit, but yes, I think he's right. And we see Superman might just have infinite rewinds here.
Yeah.
Right, and if you can't apply physics
Oh, no.
to other, Superman couldn't fly, could he? He's too heavy.
Well, no, because
The movie
He hasn't
doesn't
got a
care.
jetpack or anything.
This
Come on.
movie doesn't care.
Come on, Tony, you're too intelligent. Stop applying real world physics to wacky comic book movies.
I love it when Tony applies real physics to anything. So
No,
keep
but
doing
Jill,
what
you,
you're
Don't
you've
listen
seen
to
it in
them,
real
Tony.
time. Jill, you've seen it now. I can never get these people in the same room. With the time travel, I've always got Scotty and Jessica going, look, it's just a story, Captain. Relax. And to the point, to an extent, they've got a point. It's just a story, Captain. Stop thinking through the implications of the grandfather paradox. And on the other side, I've got Tony and Vic going, well, if you think about real world physics, you think about the totality of the mass. I'm like, I can never get you two in the same room at the same time. Too realistic for you lot, not realistic enough for it. Both points are valid, but I'm trying to relax about stories.
You want a bit of a balance between the two.
Yeah, well, in fact, it's thanks to Jill once again has come to the rescue. I'm not actually the Pope of time travel, though I'd like to think I am. Just the grandfather paradox. My department is causality. If you want to talk about mass displacement, it's 1-800 Tony Stark.
That's right.
And if you want to relax and not care, then speak to Scotty.
Yeah, and well, Eugene Bird doesn't talk on streams, but he's very good with physics too. And Dark Helmet says most Superman did was reverse the Earth's rotation. And edge of time, for some reason, spells moist with spaces in between.
More or oyster.
Oh,
But
that's why.
the Earth does spin backwards, but time rolls backwards. We see those boulders unhit the car. We see the telephone poles unfall over. He rewinds time.
But that was 8-year-old me. Reversing the Earth's spin would not cause time to go backwards. It's just the whole thing. It gave me a head. It's been giving me a headache for 45 years. Can we move on? We're talking about
My parents had to stop me from walking out of that movie. I
I
tried.
rewound myself. I jumped out, flew around the Earth, and rewound it. So we watched something else like Watership Down.
My dad said, damn it, you're 6 years old and I paid for this movie. You're going to stay to the end. I'm like, no, Dad, they can't rewind time like that. I'm insulted. And he was just like, shut the fuck up. I sat through that Star Trek movie.
But Captain Infinity would just rather watch bunnies murder each other, apparently. In
Watership Down is the most disturbing movie.
Example, no, I was like most of Britain. We were all traumatized by basically the BBC going, "Hey, let's all watch Watership Down, kids." And no, it's all, but yeah, Thumper. Exactly.
We got Secret of Nim.
You can't get anything past Jill. It's a purely ironic example, which I've seen neither. I'm doubly scarred forever.
Secret of Nim is really dark and evil too.
Oh, speaking of dark, for a while I saw Fritz the Cat with my son, and we got a surprise then. It's not the same as Felix the Cat, folks. That's the point. Parents, do not conflate Felix and Fritz the Cat. They are very different movies.
Felix and Fritz the Cat. I don't know who Fritz the Cat is.
That's otherwise you'd be laughing uncontrollably. My ace
Fritz
humor.
the Cat. I know.
I had marijuana smoking gangster. Makes Top Cat look like a furry, basically.
I turned my mic
cat,
off.
Jill. Very naughty cat.
No,
I
Captain,
gotta check him out then.
I had to turn my mic off. I was laughing so hard. Captain was on point there. It's such a you do not watch that with your son until he's like 17.
He gets it.
I turned off my mic so I could laugh for that one. I didn't want to ruin the stream.
It's a pretty naughty movie,
I'm
Jill.
not as passionate as you all on this stuff.
I don't know if it was X-rated, but it must have been close to it.
Oh, no.
It has to be
Yes, you are,
X-rated.
Dark Helmet. You say I need to take time travel more seriously.
Tony Stark says the Omega-13 is a save point device, like a system recovery system for the universe, backed up every 13 seconds.
Ooh.
Cool. That is a great description of it. I agree. I'd never thought about it that way. Dalek says, yes, that episode was called Clues, and there was no time travel. The crew just kept getting their memories wiped except for Data. And Stuart Mitchell says, it is forbidden for you to interfere in human history. This makes no sense, as the very fact that Kal-El Clark Kent is on Earth interacting with humanity does exactly that.
Well, every day he's there, he's interfering with human history. He's constantly interfering with human history. Every time he does,
good call,
does
Stuart
anything.
Mitchell. Oh, this is going to be a clobby level. Clobby, can you explain this? Stuart's broken Superman.
Oh, but Dalek says the number 3 thing was from Cause and Effect. That's what threw him off. I get the episodes mixed up too. Dark Helmet says, well, I gotta head out. Y'all have fun and have a great evening. See you tonight on Friday Night Frolics. So that's on
Dark Helmet.
Yeah, thanks, Dark Helmet. Everybody remember to check out Friday Night Frolics on Doomcock's channel, Overlord DVD. For some songs and some stories and maybe some pop culture discussion. You never know what he's going to talk about.
Really bad jokes too. Which are great.
And some impressions, things like that.
Yeah, Doomcock's a talented guy for sure.
I hear he's got an opinion about whether Deckard's a replicant.
He does.
Hey, Jill, I posted a link to a movie I think you might really like in the private chat there.
Okay.
Is it Felix the Cat?
It's got subtitles.
Is it Fritz the Cat?
It's an Italian film and it's got subtitles, so I think
it is Fritz the Cat.
It's a really good movie too.
Okay, great.
One of my favorite films, actually.
Well, why don't you tell us about it? Knights of Cabria.
Yeah, Knights of Cabria. It's like she's basically like a street walker in Rome, and she's like a really sweet person, but she's kind of trapped in this kind of seedy lifestyle, so to speak, right? And the film starts off with her, her boyfriend at the time, basically, you know, ripping her off and booting her into the river where she almost drowns. Luckily, some kids
Wow.
come and save her. Yeah, she's got a tough life, and but she's been saving her money for years as a streetwalker, and she's got a little, home, that she lives in, and yeah, well, I don't want to spoil it, but basically she goes through, all these different things that happen in her life, from day to day. And at the end, towards the end, she meets this man that she think is like true love, right? And it's going to change her life.
So like
Pretty woman
Pretty
walking
Woman is
down the
exactly what I was
street. Which
No,
thinking.
it's
again,
a lot better than
pretty
Pretty Woman.
woman.
And
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
the ending has got to be one of the most
That's exactly
devastating
where my brain
endings.
went to.
Well, it's
by
not.
the
It's not like Pretty Woman. Okay.
By the way, I just want to break it here. I have verified it. The answer from chat was correct. It is
Hey,
in
Donnie.
fact Clues.
Yes.
Is the episode.
Agreed. And hello to Donnie Pearson. Great to see you on this wonderful Friday. So
Hail, Donny Pearson. A happy Mighty Morphin Power morning to you, or evening, depending on where you are.
Tony Stark says Fritz the cat. I got the comic strips that movie is based on. The first act is word for word.
Huh.
Wow.
And Donnie Pearson says yesterday marked more than just Groundhog Day, but the 10th anniversary of Power Rangers Megaforce as well.
Well, there you go.
Boom.
Go, go, Megaforce. I don't know how to sing it exactly. I just know the Power Rangers.
They
song.
could do some kind of crossover event, Power Groundhog, where the team gets stuck in a repeating day. They get stuck in a repeating day. The team PvP gets stuck in a repeating day. Power Groundhog Rangers, our go. This is good coffee.
And they get stuck in a repeating day.
That might be.
They get stuck on a repeating day. This is really good coffee.
Power groundhogs. That could be good.
Edge of Time says Superman sucks because he breaks the DC universe. Really? That is an opinion. I like Superman too. Whoa.
Superman 1 kind of is cognizant that it's going to do some some strange things at the end to kind of get the movie to have a happy ending. So it spends the whole movie sort of investing in your goodwill and overcoming the one major sin. I call it the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I call it the Raiders of the Lost Ark rule.
Raiders, well done. Raiders, it took me 40 years to spot the sin, but that is Rise of Skywalker level bullshit.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but if the movie is aware of it, one major omission you can get away with it.
Fake out death, a blatant fake. There weren't even two trucks. Oh, they must have switched the trucks, Marion. They had no trucks to switch. This is some B-grade B-roll bullshit here.
My problem was cutting how he gets to the island ahead of the U-boat.
Well, no, they did film it. See, our deleted scene canon. Welcome to totally getting off the track. At least it's still movies. Yeah, at least they filmed it. No, what about the Marion? You're alive. Yeah, no, thanks to you. And also, what are the odds of me finding you in 1 out of 10 billion tenths? Even Mad Magazine covered that, and Unguarded as well. God,
well, no, actually, she was in what do you call it? Like the part of the. Where Bella? He wanted
the front
to get
end, top left, marked clearly marked. Marion Ray.
He was looking for Belloc's. He was looking for Belloc's tent, wasn't he?
There was this guy, it's a Frenchman, Belloc. Belloc.
A great moment, and then bad dates right after that.
See, they missed out on the pun. Then they could have been talking about earlier romantic trysts that didn't work out. But
Marion could have said,
your sister.
Yeah, Marion could have said, "Tell me about it."
Yeah, except she's stuck in a tent randomly, isn't she? Because she's alive. They switched the trucks, Marion. What fucking trucks, Indy? There was only one truck, and it was filled with two things: explosives and me.
It's convenient. It's convenience, but I got to give
it to the point of implausibility. I just can't be. It's so well directed. It took me 40 years to notice that egregious, unforgivable error. Raiders of the Lost Ark, 0.
Yeah, but then he fights the airline. But he fights the air. Then he
fake out death, Jill. It's cheap as you can see where Kathleen Kennedy watched Raiders because, of course, she was in the next one.
All they have to do is put an extra truck in the scene to make you happy.
That's all you had to do,
Well,
Steven Spielberg. Just shoot the truck twice. That's all you
but
didn't even need
then-
CGI. There was
but
only
then
one truck. It was so cheap. I'm just amazed that he got away with it for 40 years. I had to rewatch that film 15 times to finally realise there's only one fucking truck.
There
It's a
was
cheap
something about
fake
that
out.
scene that bothered me, but I didn't know what it was until you
That
mentioned
you
it.
So
can
that's
see
a
the
tribute to George and Stephen's writing and directing, that they got away with that cheap ass shit trick for 40
There's
years.
a couple of things wrong with the scene. One of them is that when the truck blows up, you can see the howitzer on the bottom of it is still connected to the bottom of the truck.
See, again, you crossed the line. It's just a movie, bro. Relax.
It's okay. You can see the
I can
effect.
flip from one side of the line to the other.
You can
I
see
like
the
to relax
special
doing
effects.
it.
But then Indy fights the airplane mechanic, and things are
No,
okay
entire
again.
airline. Dear Nazi Airways. I was on your Hindenburg the other day. I did not enjoy myself.
Yeah,
I was
if you
chased
think
by your
about it,
agents throughout the entire flight, and I had to steal a biplane to get off. Yours sincerely, Henry Jones Jr.
if people with brains wrote Indiana Jones 5, he'd be on Lufthansa and have a problem. He's like, I just can't stand flying.
Oh,
with the
people with
Germans."
brains wrote Indiana Jones 5. It wouldn't be flirting with a motherfucking malleable timeline. I can take the time travel, folks, but don't go malleable. Drink is right. Don't go fucking history. Don't do it.
It's possible no one with a brain would agree to write Indiana Jones 5.
So
I don't even know why the hell they need to make Indiana Jones 5. God, they should have stopped after the third film.
Donnie Pearson wants to share this picture with us, and also
there we go.
he creates artwork, so this is one of his digital arts, and he says that there was a time loop episode in Power Rangers. He says, if I remember correctly, there was an episode of Power Rangers Zeo that was inspired by cause and effect from TNG.
Oh, perfect. And you'll know if that is a graphic made by Donnie Pearson, he's got a bright blue sky background as a clever reference to Jill's show talking about Groundhog Day. Brilliant, guys.
Wow.
Nice.
Good timing. Time back to that.
Wow, it all ties in. Blue skies.
And
I'm not saying.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Well, Nemesis.
I don't want to get a copy thingy. Sorry, Jill.
Tony Stark says, not to mention will be going forward with my Rick and Morty radio shows.
Ooh.
Okay, right.
Yay.
I need
Tony,
to
let's
enjoy...
rewrite that time travel episode and get the time travel right. Look, you can have a snake planet, you can have Snake Hitler, but you can't go back and kill Snake Hitler, Snake Kanye West. You can't do it. You're in a new timeline. Think, McFly, think.
Mm-hmm. And Stuart Mitchell says, have you all got amnesia? She didn't get out of the cockadoodie truck.
Exactly. It blew up. She should be dead. Because on the rewatch, I noticed he goes, they must have switched trucks. I'm like, there's only one truck. What they switching? I looked up switching.
So they fixed it in the dialogue, but you don't see it visually.
Yeah, well, it's basically it's lamp shading. It's really great. There's only one truck. We know there's one truck. We're blatantly lying, but they're lamp shading the fact there's only one truck. Just imagine the second truck.
It's Steven Spielberg when he's really good, and George Lucas. So it's very successful lamp shading. It's done well. These are people who know how to lamp shade.
Yep.
Well, you know what?
I don't like lamp shading because of Looper.
It's not insulting.
Because in Looper they go, oh, this time travel sucks, and Ryan hasn't thought it through. We could sit here all day talking about time travel, but the entire movie would fall apart under the captain's prowess. And you're right. Let's move on.
Let me tell you about a guy
lamp
named
shading equals, look, I did a giant shit on the carpet. I mean, lamp shading is, you still did it.
Let me tell
lamp shading is basically Ben Kenobi blasting someone in the face and going, so uncivilized. You're the one that shot me in the face, motherfucker.
Let's sit down for a second. Let me tell you about a guy named John Williams and how he can make you believe anything on screen.
Let me tell you about a guy called, have you ever heard of a Sith called Alec the Baldwin?
He was Long Islanders so unwise.
Before you tell me about John Williams, I want to say hello to Pop Culture Curator and also...
Hi, Pop.
Yeah.
Pop. And by the way, poor Jill, if you guys were getting off the track this much on my show, I would have put all of you in the pain booth.
Well, there is no track today. This is a free
Autobahn,
I guess, since we were in Germany.
Oh, nice.
Free wheeling all day.
On the Autobahn.
We didn't have to
Basically,
bring our
it's like Germany in the
agonizers.
early 1930s. The Autobahn is still being built. And Jill, she's our Fuhrer. Well, no, let's take the
Wait a
metaphor only
minute.
so far.
No. Let's get out of Germany then. And
Yeah,
so,
we've been
Quick,
spending a
let's
lot
go
of
into
time in
Feliciano.
Germany
Austria.
today.
Okay,
Anschluss, everyone. No, anyway.
Speaking of Germany, that episode Patterns of Force. Now there's another one. We're almost new Trek bad.
I
And
like
I also
Patterns
want
of
to say
Force.
goodbye to King Dolphin. Raymond Feliciano has to go. See you
I
later.
thought Patterns of Force was a good episode.
Thank you
actually.
for the help
Au
with that.
revoir,
Not
Raymond.
top,
Au
not
revoir.
top level Trek, but second level for sure.
It's enjoyable, but it is pretty dumb.
Hey, I love the part where McCoy's boot doesn't fit. That's a great scene.
Das Boot. Speaking of Germans,
Das
PvP,
Boot.
have you heard the new rumor about Indiana Jones? Because Indiana Jones is going to travel back in time and kill Hitler, but then he's going to get stopped by Kanye West.
Well, hey, what the hell? I mean, the way that movie seems like it's going to turn out, I could actually believe that's going to be a part of the storyline.
Kanye West is going to be Hitler's bodyguard.
Actually, that would probably be a better film than what they're actually going to end up making.
Indiana Jones, the
Oh,
Temple
we're
of
living in
Yi.
ridiculous times.
I predict a movie that is like extremely vanilla. It's going to have just exactly 2 hour runtime, maybe 158, because it's going to be just a compromise so that they can't be criticized and a cash grab. There's
No, that's
no
what it cardinal
passion
sin.
left.
Yes.
Cardinal sin, Freudian slip. No, Cinema Gulp. Cinema Gulp, here's an editing job. I must have Cardinal on the brain. Cinema Gulp, here's an editing job for you. You basically get the start of Raiders where Indy gets the thing, that head from the prologue. What's that thing called that he gets? From the Jovitos. Yeah, the head. He gets that, and then he comes out the temple, rolls out, chased by the big ball, and then Kanye West goes, "Listen, man, I'm going to let you finish."
It's a
I had the
fertil-
best. Bounce had the best video of all time. I'm going to take this.
It's a Jovito fertility idol.
If only you spoke the language of Jovitos.
Yeah, which just seems to be just a couple of things and a gesture.
Dude, it took me 40 years to write. That is a brilliant joke. If only you spoke their arcane and complex language, Indiana.
You know what though? They I wish they had stuck with having Belloc be the bad guy in Temple of Doom, because that's why they made it a prequel.
Oh, that would have been great.
They bailed on it.
Yeah.
They got cold. It was too late to change it from a prequel. They had cold feet. So what they did was they made it his development into a more ethical Jones.
But that's the whole problem. Temple of Doomcock is that it doesn't work as a prequel because his reactions to external stimuli vis-a-vis phenomena.
And he doesn't
supernatural.
go.
Thank you.
And he doesn't go to the university because he's too low rent and too disreputable to have
Because
a
he's already
job
fucked
like.
all the students.
No, he
Yeah.
doesn't.
Oh
have-
yeah,
he
so
has-
chill. Are
doesn't
you
have-
aware
Let's
it's
have a
canon
completely-
that when Marcus Brody goes to see India, Indy, we're going to go after the Ark. Remember that bit in Raiders? Chill.
Mhm.
Have you noticed that Indiana Jones is also already wearing a dressing gown early in the evening for a bit of proto Netflix and chill? He's already got 2 glasses of champagne and an open bottle. He's got that girl in the cupboard from earlier with the "I love you" on the eyeballs.
Yeah, right. In class.
Yep. So that's canon. She's in the cupboard. That's why he's already in a dressing gown.
Or he's knowing that Marcus is going to come by and he has plans for him and Marcus.
No, he's got a girl in the cupboard. That's canon. There's a lipstick on the glass and everything.
All
You
I'm
freeze
saying
frame.
is, I don't think that Marcus
No, don't
Brody would have
you
turned him
poo-poo
down.
my lovely little theory. That's not headcanon, bro. That's
Oh,
canon. Let's all rewatch Raiders. There's lipstick on the glass. That's not Brody's shade of
He has a
lipstick.
different personality regarding women in Temple of Doom versus Raiders, and he's more reserved in Raiders.
He's kind
Right.
of done a couple of things he feels bad
Apart
about.
from the student in the cupboard.
And also, he
Yeah.
got with his friend's daughter when she was just a little bit too young.
You knew what you were doing. Smack.
Yeah, he blames the victim. That's why Indiana Jones is a problematic character if you're Catholic.
He's aged a bit poorly, hasn't he?
Well, now that he's playing 60 and 80, he looks terrible for 60.
Maybe the new movie should be called Indiana Jones and the Me Too.
It should take place now, so he would still look good for his age. He should be like
Well, if you think
110.
about it, if he aged, the amount of time between Raiders and now is the same amount of time as when Raiders was set and when it was filmed. Therefore, Indiana Jones in the new movie should go to the cinema and watch Raiders of the Lost Ark and go, "Oh yeah, that was me." This
He
is
would be
documentary.
able. He would be able to see his own movie. Yes, or
That would be
Excalibur.
meta. And then you could get the
Excalibur is a
idea
good
of
movie
shooting
from that year
people
too.
instead of exactly.
You can see Blade Runner too.
He'd be watching Blade Runner going, that guy's a fucking replica. And Empire Strikes Back.
And complaining about
Honestly, Indiana Jones watching Empire Strikes Back.
But then
boy.
is he an actor? Is Indy now an actor?
You'd be creeped out by the actors in those movies.
Well,
right?
actually, in the sequel, Edge of Human, the Blade Runner 2, the novel that was a sequel to the movie, which was a remake of the novel, which is different because in the original novel, Deckard's a human. Anyway, so
Is it the
in that
same
one,
author?
and obviously then the 2049 wasn't a sequel to the, but in the sequel to the novel, they're actually making a movie of Blade Runner. So they did. It's been done that route. It's a bit meta, isn't it?
Wait, is this
Yeah, like in
sequel-
Seinfeld, where Seinfeld's, about Seinfeld, but then in Seinfeld gets his own TV show called Seinfeld. So,
called Jerry.
Thank you. Someone's paying attention. It's not called Seinfeld, Jill. It's called Jerry.
Oh, okay. So
Tom.
the sitcom within the sitcom is called Jerry.
A sitcom within the sitcom.
Yes, called Jerry.
That's fully meta. I mean, in a way, that ties into Spaceballs. Now is now.
It's the same thing. Yeah. My question here was about
Yes.
I was holding on.
What women
trying to
want.
Remember. Yeah, I know a little bit about
Women
that.
want
I know
to
which
read
one
the
you
chat.
remember.
They want you
Yalamo.
to make them. They want you to make them laugh.
Yay.
Yes.
The stars shine bright in the middle of the night, deep in the heart of Texas.
Yeah. So Edge of Time says, "Hi, Pops. Missed your shows last week." Well, you know what? You didn't, because Pops was very busy this week. He didn't have shows, so and he'll resume the shows.
Literally
this
missed
coming
He
week.
nothing.
didn't have any shows this
Yeah,
week.
you didn't miss his shows.
The Evil Dead 2 stream burning up the view count must be heard. A great comprehensive podcast.
And Donnie Pearson says the late Christopher Reeve is my number one big screen Superman. My number one small screen Superman. Soups and Lowe's Tyler Hoechlin.
I like Dean Cain.
Who's the latest one in the TV show? Because it's funny when I was on the show with Brown and Renier, we just always talk about fugly Superman. He's a really handsome guy, but maybe amongst Hollywood, he's Hollywood fugly.
By the way, I just got done looking
Those
at
are
some.
different standards, aren't they?
I just got
Well,
done.
it's just everyone's
sifting-
beautiful in Hollywood. So if you're not uber, if you're only a 9 in Hollywood, then you're fucking ugly like that Superman.
I just got done sifting through the new Trek propaganda, and there's some bad reboot propaganda in there too. They're still trying to act like that J.J. Abrams Superman movie's coming out about the black Superman. It's
But
somehow
I thought
different
that
from
was
Black.
I thought because of
I
everything that's been going on with DC that there was no chance of that.
I don't think there's a chance either, but Bad Reboot and Secret Hideout are in full disinformation mode. They're putting out all sorts of stuff.
Oh, Ryan Johnson's still talking about that Star Wars trilogy he's never going to do. Come on.
I am so enjoying counting down this year to the
Tony
Star
Blair's
Trek
still
movie.
talking about Iraq having illegal weapons of mass destruction, but after 20 years, we don't believe him.
I'm so looking forward to counting down through this year
Oh my God.
of a Star Trek movie that's not happening.
It's not happening.
It's such a fraud.
It's not
Okay.
happening. You're more likely to get a Tarantino Star Trek film.
You know what
Oh,
though?
I
Every week they do something else to try to get it to happen because they're that desperate. And we're watching
They
we're
want
wa-
something, but
we're watching Bad Reboot die.
What does
well,
Christopher
I
Pike
hope
look
I
like?
wish it would just die
Let's
already.
bloody hope so. I hope they die soon.
Look, they might
Donnie-
be
I don't
death
sitting
immune.
around waiting for franchises to die. I hope that's why you got to write your own. We've got to make our
Look,
own
it's-
things, people. We've got to
Yeah,
be
that's
the
right.
change you want to see.
It's going to be a
Make
long
some-
time. It's
Yeah,
Hollywood.
right.
People-
I don't know if I'm that creative though.
But
Donnie
that's the
Pearson-
great thing. You see, you can be inspired by the good Star Trek and inspired by the filth. It's like, well, clearly the bar is so low, I could just basically vomit on a piece of paper and it's going to be improvement on anything J.J. Abrams does or Klutzman.
That's
that
true,
pretty well
but Star
sums it up
Trek is
nicely,
so
actually.
important to me that if I even made anything off shooting it like the Orville, it would have to be spectacular for me to want
Jill-
to ever put it out.
All you have to do is not screw up the time travel following my handy guide, and bam, you're already better than everything the
good
Orville's
with the
ever
time
done, especially
travel.
season 3.
Jill, you're
Hey,
not after
Think,
episode
darling. Think.
after episode 2 of Picard, you're going to start assessing how much damage this has done to your TNG esteem because you cannot unsee
Let
these
it go,
things.
T. Give Jill a chance. It's in the vault. It's in the
right.
vault.
That's right. I put. Yeah,
I
that's
don't
exactly.
know.
They're in the time vault. They're in
Because
the
you're
time
making, you keep
capsule.
saying it, T. You're making it like a self. Oh, Jill, you're going to ruin all of
Now
your
that
Star Trek. It's in the vault. It's not Star Trek.
That's right.
Look, you can put.
It's too late for me,
You
Jill.
can put a wine label on an old grape juice. It's still not wine.
Right, exactly. And for me, Star Trek is 1966 to 2005. Anything after can be just laughed at.
I
And
promise not to say I told you so.
I
welcome.
don't think
I want
laughed
to
at's
say.
the right expression, Jill. More like, crying your eyes out.
Well, yeah, well, you have to laugh
It's
at
like, what
it,
have
or
they
else you're
done
going
to
to be
my
crying.
Star Trek?
So no, it's
No.
but it's
You
not
can
Star
still
Trek.
go back.
That's what's okay about it. See, it's not.
It's not Star Trek, exactly.
So
Star Trek.
welcome to the panel,
Hey,
pop culture curator.
Hey, Pop.
Pops.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you all.
Yeah, it's great to
On
have
2
you
hours.
here today.
Yeah, nice to see you,
2
Bob.
hours. I've been going on for 2 hours.
Wow. And you didn't think you'd have any material. You were worried about
I
this stream.
really did have no material, but here we are.
We did fine.
Yeah,
though.
poor Jill was probably thinking with this panel of 3 quiet people, I'll go no.
Well, the reason I'm quiet is I can't get a word in edgewise, basically, because you and Admiral are doing so much talking. I figure, well, I'll just shut up
I
and
said
listen.
the 3 of us.
I'll just shut up and
Okay.
listen.
Right, yeah, of course, just the 2 of us, not you.
One of these days, I'm going to leave my video on the whole time so people can see how infrequently I actually do activate my mic.
Exactly, me too. Right, that's it. I'm going to say nothing. It's the PvP show, everyone. Off you go, Pleasant.
I don't think so, because I haven't said anything for a while now. I've been listening to you two, so.
So, Pop, how are you
Anyway,
doing
continue.
this week?
Chat
You
away.
got your project done?
No, I was so busy this week I haven't touched it, so I'm going to try to work on it this weekend. And I took today off work, so I'm home.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's raining. I don't feel like working out in the rain.
So you're kind of tired out from all that work this week, Pop?
Yeah, I worked 7 days straight, so I thought.
Oh, that sucks, man. That's too much.
No, sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah,
but
right.
it's money. Hey, cash is good, right?
Yeah, hopefully you get more.
You should have a nice big paycheck waiting.
Right.
Well, I just gave it away for bills, but it was, for a good reason.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Stuart Mitchell says Raiders of the Lost Ark was Spielberg's tribute to the action serials described by Kathy Bates in Misery. Those kinds of last-minute escapes and convenient explanations happened all the time.
Yeah,
interesting. That's a really interesting, valid point, because they are based on those B movies, but I always assumed it was with A movie quality. So because I've only just discovered the error, I've not had a chance to run it by Lucas and Spielberg, but that will be an excellent. Yeah, we did it on purpose, Captain, as a reference and an homage to the shitty quality of the writing of the original B movie serials we were impersonating.
Yeah, the serials I
still don't buy it. It's still shitty. It's still a shitty
like,
swap out.
15-minute films, and they'd always have a cliffhanger at the end, and you'd go on to the next chapter.
No, but that's what bugged me, because it's like, I'm a kid, but I'm not that stupid. It's like, you switched it, Flash Gordon. He wasn't there. That's how they cheated. No, I thought the whole point with Luke and Spielberg is, but we're not going to do it with the. Again, I'm embarrassed. It took me 40 years to notice this fucking egregious assault on our common sense. They hid it so well. It literally took me 40 years to spot a fault in Raiders. I'm not letting it go now. I'm going to be going on about this for months. This is YouTube gold. But I guess that's brilliant. That's a classic example of there's no such thing as a valid excuse, but that's brilliant. Yeah, we put that stupid mistake in as a homage to the stupid mistake-laden serials.
The lampshading, the lampshade.
I used to watch those serials as a kid, and I still
exactly. It's like it's fully it's lampshade all the way down.
Yeah, but in my opinion, the cliffhangers were part of the charm of the cliffhangers was you guessing how are they going to get out of this one, and then always being right, and being excited for next week.
It makes a big difference if you're
right.
right.
They made you guess, so you had to come back for the next one.
that was the point, right?
It makes a big difference if your writer had a plan ahead of time and knew how they're going to resolve it and went into it with a lot of care. And like my point before about John Williams was just that his music can make up for a lot of problems in the plot.
Oh
As you're
yeah.
being swept away by the Raiders theme, like you don't think like how could he survive being dragged behind this truck? You know what I mean? The music has just got you right there.
And Donnie Pearson,
yeah.
and Donnie Pearson says that John Williams will turn 91 in 5 days.
Yeah,
he's from my hometown. I hope there's something in the water.
Hoboken, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. And
Floral
also,
Park, New York.
Hello to Mr. Brown Alliance. And
Mr.
I have to step,
Brown.
yeah, Mr. Brown. I have to step away for a moment, so if you guys could speak for me just for a little bit, and I mean, you guys have been doing a good job with that.
Yeah, I'm sure
anyway.
that will not be a problem, Joe.
Sorry.
But I just wanted to let you know.
I've got 2 opinions lined up already. I know, right? And this is me 2 shows a day talking for 8 hours to get out. I'm awful, aren't I? I'll shut up.
This is him, and this is him without the ability to throw us in the penalty box.
I'll tell you what, nice. While we got Brown here, I've got to do a little video just pointing out Mr. Brown Alliance, pointing out one of the while we're all obsessing about whether Deckard's a replicant and even what Deckard thinks about it, no one thought to ask Roy Batty what he thought. And a lot of people go, oh yeah, Roy Batty, spoiler alert, saved Rick Deckard as a moment of discovering his own humanity. But Mr. Brown's like, no, he's a fucking skin job. He recognised the other skin job and he fucking saved him. One robot to another. I think Brown's right. I think it's quite the insight.
Mr. Brown,
So I'll be making some video gold out of that.
Interesting point.
I hope you'll check out my uploads, Mr. Brown. You're a big fan. You know what? Honestly, I want to ask you this again, Cap. Have you had time to think about this? Do you think that Deckard is preloaded with Holden's memories, so that's why they have him just sort of drifting around
Didn't have
aimlessly?
to think about it. Completely ridiculous idea. I'll tell you what. No, because Scotty
would make him a good Blade Runner.
In-canon solution. As soon as he looked in the mirror, he'd be fucked, wouldn't he? That's why Rachel had to have the memory. No, the question is, to answer your question, Rachel had the memory of Tyrell's niece. Makes you wonder where's Tyrell's niece. Well, she's in New York, isn't she? She's on the East Coast, busy with an advertising career.
Something like that. But I'm thinking that if you preloaded Deckard with just Dave's memories,
it's not going to happen. As soon as he sees a mirror, the jig's up.
No, I mean he wouldn't look like him.
No, you asked the question, I answered it. It's a terrible idea. Get over it.
He's a replicant. He doesn't have to look.
You've got
like
a classic
Dave.
writing problem there. You're getting too attached to your own idea.
How?
Scotty's right.
We know they don't.
You have to take out all the mirror. You carry on then.
But we know they don't look alike.
If he didn't have a mirror, how can you have someone else's memories? Think about it.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, it'd have to be really selective. You'd have huge
Welcome
gaps.
to thinking through your science fiction tropes.
I know. I mean, that's why we're here, right? To think about. Stuff
I know
like
that's
that.
what I did exactly. Go and throw me another one. I love them. They're great. Now, see, if you combine cloning with parallel universes and twins, you can actually have 8 Teagues.
Yeah, God forbid.
Right?
This isn't really my thing, but if they're going to save Star Wars, it seems like Andor is their #1 commodity right now. They need.
No, it isn't. It's got no dramatic tension. He's not going to die until Rogue One. Thereby, it's no point watching the series at all.
That's why they
Yawnsville, boring, no dramatic tension.
Right. That's why they should clone him and follow the clone, so Diego Luna can age, and so that they want to
kill off an Andor every week. You don't know. I know. I thought it through, like the framing device. Otherwise, there's no dramatic tension.
We can make it clear there's only one clone.
Andor's a replicant. Everyone's a replicant. Deckard's a replicant, Picard's a replicant, Andor's a replicant, or a clone. He could be a clone, canonically. They're all clone. Maybe that's the twist. That's how they could have brought back the Emperor. He's a clone. I'll tell you what, Kathleen Kennedy, we have to do send me $1 million. I could fix all your problems. Well, not all of them, honey.
Picard's a really weak replicant. They purposely state he's only as strong as a 90-year-old man.
Yeah, he's a Nexus 1.
Yeah, he's like a Nexus point. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. They have like
First one was Nexus 1.
They have nerfed all of his abilities down to that of it. It's like they didn't make him able to be stronger. Nothing useful. They're like, we knew that you would be upset if we gave you like the ability to be healthy, so he made you an old man.
No, apparently Picard the replicant, he's got one special skill to talking in long.
You're roboting, Captain.
Sentences. It was
Your
quite
mic's gone.
hypnotic.
So is anybody here? Wow, the sounds of silence.
Hello to everybody in the chat.
Yes, it says 5 people watching at the present time. That's good. Hey, hit the thumbs up button there, folks. Give Jill some likes.
Thumbs up, anti-derivative Jill.
Yeah, give her some likes. She deserves
How long
it.
is she going to be streaming?
I have no idea. Basically, Pop, when Jill started, she invited me first, and she had no, other than the movie Run Lola Run, which we discussed at the start of the stream, she really had no prep time. She had no plan. So that's why she's just doing like a shore leave, sort of free form kind of stream. So, but it's going quite well, I think, actually.
Run. Yeah, I wish I'd have been there for the Run Lola Run conversation.
Yeah, well, you can always rewatch, I guess. But yeah, it's an interesting film. Well, Jill picked it, I think, because, her and Scotty talked about Groundhog Day yesterday.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of like a rendition.
That kind of movie, right?
Well, for me, I liked it, but when she did the temper tantrum and the scream and it made everything go right, that ruined the entire movie for me.
Yeah, the scream is kind of a bit weird, actually.
No, it
like
reminds
some
me
kind
of that
superpower.
Right, just like that character in Discovery that screamed and destroyed all the dilithium in the universe. It's
I didn't see that.
It's written by a girl who throws tantrums and gets what she wants, and I don't like that.
You know what? Okay. You know what, Pop? I was doing my deep dive into New Trek propaganda to suss up what they're up to, and I realized how deep we are into unexplained nonsense. Something called the burn happened, which erased all history and canon, followed by something called the anomaly happening, where it's an AI that knows it's an AI that wants to be a better AI.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I was talking about wasn't there an episode where somebody screamed? And it made all the dilithium blow up?
That's what I believe that's the burn.
That's ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, but now the fleet uses spore drive like the Discovery. It turns out that they were right the whole time.
Spore drive has got to be the dumbest concept I've ever heard of.
The only reason why they have it is because they stole it from that video game.
It's just so idiotic.
Yeah, they did steal it from the video game, but it's not the dumbest concept I've ever heard. The dumbest concept is sonar in space.
Well, that's pretty dumb. Well, it's all dumb, isn't it?
I mean that's
not much good about it.
That is slapping you in the face with how they think about what they think of your intelligence.
Well, they think the audience are morons, obviously, because I guess that's the people that they can relate to. The writers can't be very bright to write this.
It's written for people just like Tilly. It stars Tilly. It's written for Tilly. It's written by Tilly, and it's written for people like Tilly.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic crap, really.
Now, Pop. As far as Tilly, the
most disgusting Trek character ever.
But as physically, would you?
Yeah. If I was a sharpshooter, she'd be the first target. Yep. I love how they beam down to alien planets.
Tilly does not exist. She is fictional. You cannot harm her. We just want everyone to know that.
No, I love how they beam down to alien planets, and she's like 500 pounds and got this huge bright red afro. It's like, wow, gee, I wonder what person.
Are you saying that Tilly
pick off first?
Wait, hold on. Are you saying that Tilly would not be an adequate fit in our world's military? Are you being body ableist about this, Cap?
She'd be an absolute fit. I would say, Tilly, we need to know if there's enemy fire out there. Run out there and find out for us, will you?
How would you? Could you imagine a fucking gender swapped Full Metal Jacket? You would be my private pile.
Hello, Lemon Pie. Good to see you. Yeah, it's
Oh my
ridiculous.
god.
Her character stinks on so many levels, and especially with how the whole show in general, the new Trek spends way too much time on ridiculous hairstyles when no military service would be doing that.
She's got some crazy hair. It looks like
because she's trying to make her body look smaller, so her hair gets bigger and bigger. It's a distraction.
It looks like she combs it with firecrackers. Then Michael Burnham's hair is all over the place. One year it's an asymmetrical kind of Paramount logo. The next year she's got long dreadlocks. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, there's no continuity. Is what it is. That's what I'm saying. Is they're wasting too much time.
You guys are talking
on hairstyles. But there's no way that a character in an organization that lands on an alien planet is going to be 500 pounds and is going to have bright red hair and walk around like Bozo the Clown.
Well,
they'd be the first target.
Bozo the Clown.
I'll allow the red hair.
The best of the best mentally and physically.
I like how they explain the fact they couldn't pay her salary for a full season and that it's actually one season split in half by having her character from 900 years in the past go to their Starfleet Academy to teach. That makes sense. What is she going to teach? What is she going to teach them from 900 years ago? If we could get someone from the 900 years ago, what could they teach us? I mean, maybe. What is it, anthropology class? It's like, this is the primitive human.
You're the expert on that because I didn't watch past season 2.
Oh God!
I just know what I saw.
Spared yourself.
I just know what from Alberto Frey's reviews, and
I know. I just
the characters are completely unbelievable. There's no way they would be serving in real time.
You know how bad some of Discovery is that some of Alberto Frey's reviews, he's asleep, and he continues the reviews. He's still talking. He does a great job of the review, but he's just I think he calls one of the characters Penguin on accident because he's like,
that's probably the character we've been talking about.
Guys, it's less than 2 weeks until Picard season 3 begins with an absolutely heartwarming story, and I'll just point out that Deep Space Nine shows Worf should not be gray or as old as we see because we see 200-year-old Klingons.
Or are you guys expecting it to stick to canon? Because I highly doubt that.
No, of course not.
But Worf should not be gray or old.
For a novelty, maybe.
Well, I'm just wondering. Let's just see. I wonder if everyone's going to call out RMB on what he has said about the series. I'm ready for it.
I'm not seeing any evidence that any true science fiction writers are working for the show or anybody who wrote for Star Trek before, except for Terry Matalas. He wrote 2 episodes of Enterprise. I don't know if they were any good. I didn't really watch them, but
it's still Akiva Goldsman.
I mean, I've seen all of Enterprise, but I haven't watched them recently.
Enterprise was good.
Akiva, he was part of the Gang of 4, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Enterprise was good, but there's some real bad episodes.
There are. So I need to go and watch Terry's episodes to see what I really think of his writing style, and that might help me out a bit. But basically, whenever I hear him talk, he doesn't really seem that interested in the television aspect of Star Trek. He's more interested in the movies, the TNG movies in particular.
You should be able to watch his work without having to go back and watch his other work to understand it, right? I mean, you should be able to understand it and like it based on Star Trek, on what he's writing about, right?
Right, but I don't mind going back to watch real Star Trek, so it's just an excuse to go do that.
Maybe I can interest you in this. You can hear my punk rock music on my channel. I did an upload of some of my original music with a taste of Armageddon over it.
Oh, I listened to some of that. That's pretty good.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
And I left all the explodey stuff and Star Trek. It's got death, destruction,
no copyright
disease.
warning or anything.
Nothing. I'm fine. You know what? I think that using the ASMR is confusing the shit out of the. One day I'm going to get claimed and destroyed and vaporized, and I'll be gone, and you won't have to worry about me anymore. But I think my ASMR might be confusing the bots.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I hope it continues to stay under fair use there for you.
I really work hard to make sure I don't go past like 8 or 9 seconds, like to the point that it's a little pedantic. I feel bad, but like if I get blown off the air for not doing it the right way, like who
Yeah.
can I help? And the time period has gotten
Blown off.
steadily longer. So I think I just have to wait out terms
Yeah,
of service.
I thought 8 or 9 seconds were good enough too, but the thing from The Simpsons that Scotty likes to play, they fight. And if you play the whole thing, it's less than 10 seconds, but you still get a copy claim for it.
Oh,
So
you know what?
the math is not definitive on that.
Music is different. If you play a clip of Star Trek, it could go like 8 or 10 seconds and you're okay. But if there's music in it, like you're screwed. Like dan, 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 bang, you're done.
I think part of it too might be because that's a complete scene from beginning to end. Usually, if you show clips that are not connected to anything else, then you're okay. But I think I was thinking about that with your Itchy and Sketch script, whatever that is.
Yeah,
I think
right.
it because no matter how short it is, it's a complete scene from beginning to end.
That's why I started cutting off. I'm gonna cut off the end of it.
This is how
and that
good
works.
this is how good the algorithm is to find it. When I used to play live, I would do a cover of of a song on my acoustic, and when I uploaded it to YouTube, it would say copyright restriction. We detected that you played this song by this artist, and it was right every time. It always knew it. So
Edge
the
of Time
algorithm.
says the Tilly that ate Manhattan.
She wasn't that big in the first season. It was like makeup and a suit, and like she looked normal.
No, but she got bigger and
Wait,
bigger
she
and bigger.
wore a suit? I didn't even know that.
Barely,
barely. The first season they padded her up a little. The thing is, I think she had a couple of babies. Also, her acne is creature makeup. Mary Wiseman, if you look at the pictures of her from season 1, out of character, wasn't anywhere near as bad looking as Tilly is. Tilly, the character,
Wow.
it's fair to call her ugly because they go through a lot of work to make her look that way.
Why would they do that intentionally?
Because they would never have a real ugly person around them. They're a bunch of Hollywood phonies.
But the rest of them are ugly, so I don't understand.
On the inside and the outside.
So you think she's written to be a character for everyone to hate?
No,
I think she's written for us to relate to and see ourselves in because they see us as ugly and stupid.
They wanted her to be like Barkley, but that totally failed.
That was the
intention. I do relate to
intention.
Barkley. He's introverted, he's nerd, and he's pretty intelligent, but doesn't always know how to apply himself. And that's how you write a real nerd. But when they made Tilly, they wanted to do that, but none of the writers were nerds, so they couldn't do it.
She's bipolar and insane. Like maybe that's what they are. Like she's
She's a narcissist, so that's nothing new. That's just like the
I like Barkley, but they should have called him Murdoch.
Nah, I would have keep him in world because that was that's his name in the A Team.
Oh, okay.
Dwight Schultz was in the American TV show The A Team.
Well, I have a question though. Tilly's getting fatter and fatter, but they went out of their way. They went out of their way to have an episode where she was racing other people on the ship, and she was quote the fastest one. So they had to intentionally do that to make fun of her character.
What?
It's body equivalency.
He's Murdoch.
Body representation, Pop.
The A Team.
You could have body representation, but when they put her next to that Asian man who is thin and agile and
it's ridiculous.
Athlete, that's what I'm saying. So maybe they were doing that intentionally to make her look fat and stupid.
They aren't doing it intentionally. And since you set me straight about a few things, I've been looking at their ads, and the women look fantastic, and they make the men look as bad as they can.
Maybe
of course they do. Yeah,
chasing a donut.
Like Picard looks horrible.
And they make the men act with feminine mannerisms.
Well, we all know that men lose fights to women all the time and tend to be neurotic and vain.
Asian? What you mean? Israeli, Turkish, United Arab Emirates.
He looked like Japanese or Chinese, possibly. I didn't watch it. I just watched Bird of Prey's review.
Turkey,
but Stuart Mitchell
Russian.
has a good question. The bigger question is, how does Data age? My question is, why does he age? I thought a robot is not supposed to age. Why is he fat and old now?
Yeah, he said he was.
Yeah, Lore aged. No, it's Lore, not Data. So because they killed Data.
And how the fuck is Lore alive?
I don't know. why is he aging? Because Brent Spiner is
Exactly.
old, and they can't afford to de-age him. Or
What?
So just go with it. They're telling everybody just go with it.
yeah, just go with it. He wants to be old. Laura wants to look old. So
Watch them
we have
say
to
he was just.
Here's my question: don't you guys agree that the TOS cast aged much better?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I look at Picard, and then I look at what do you call it? What's his face? Patrick Stewart, and I look at William Shatner, and I think Patrick Stewart looks about the same age, and there's a 10-year age difference.
I think William Shatner looks much better.
I think
He
so.
looks much, but William Shatner's 92.
Looks much healthier.
Poopy stew.
Right, he's healthier. His mind's sharp. He doesn't even. Patrick Stewart even talks like a frail old man.
I think it's because they broke his nose for so many facelifts so many times.
Yeah, why are we getting 3 seasons of Kirk?
I think that's the only reason why they ended the TOS movies is because I think they knew it was DeForest Kelly's last movie and they didn't want to go on without him.
Yeah, and they're not using Kirk, Captain, because Secret Hideout is not interested in making Star Trek. They want to make anything but Star Trek. And only now that they failed for 5 years are they kind of sort of trying to do something.
I think they're waiting for William Shatner to pass away, and then they'll bring back Kirk, and then he'll be bisexual or black.
They have Kirk. He's a loser. He's not a handsome. He's pretty handsome, but he's not a William Shatner by any long shot. And before they bring him on, they preface it by saying he's an idiot and he'll cheat and he'll do anything to
they
win.
have his brother Samuel George
trash the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
no surprise
terrible.
There.
Basically, he's like, my brother Jim is an embarrassing, underhanded scumbag lowlife who's captain of a fucking ship. Yeah. You might want to be proud of that in this Navy, but no, like these are the most unmilitary fucking people.
And yeah, no, that's right. Because all right, so I think I gotta go. I gotta go do stuff today and get things done.
Well, thanks for having us,
Jill. And yeah, you're welcome. Thank you guys for hanging on and hanging out.
Talking nice way to get in a dig at your brother Jim. Hail to brother Jim.
Yeah, sorry I missed the Run Lola Run chat.
Yeah, but it's the Federation, a military organization, or are they scientists with phasers?
In New Trek, they're an evil matriarchy.
An evil matriarchy. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to take off my headphones for a minute. I didn't know.
In New Trek, the Federation is an evil matriarchy.
Yeah, I can only. Yeah, okay.
Thanks, chat. We're looking with
what? Oh, right. Sheer hubris.
Right, all the people in command at the Federation are females, right? And they're the Federation is evil. And the Federation is the Federation's evil, xenophobic, and militaristic.
Now you're sounding like Spock. If you're gonna get nasty, I'm gonna leave.
Flipping hubris.
Yeah, the actress they did that to was not happy that they made her say that. She was supposed to get.
She could have turned down the role. Here we go again.
She said they changed the ending she filmed and that it would have redeemed the character.
Really?
Make of it what you will. She publicly went on Facebook and dissed him, said she won't work for him anymore.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad somebody stands up against bad writing.
She probably said that after she found out that she wasn't going to be in any further episodes.
Nope.
Whoever wrote this episode should die!
I don't know. I think we should give her the benefit of the doubt. She publicly slammed the door on it. They liked having her curse out Picard. They would have brought her back to do it. She said that she loves Star Trek, and she said she was lied to. So maybe we should take her at her word and say, hey, you know what? This kind of proves these people are as bad as we think.
And in honor of having pop culture here today, I will play this.
I would never live in the 24th century. I fucking hate the next generation. Only the original series, only classic.
I just like
all the
that
way.
Clip, you know, even though I don't agree with that clip, it's just so fun. And anyway, I would like to wish you all a happy Friday. Have a great day. And
thank you.
I'll see you guys next time. Thank you, everybody thank you, everyone in the chat and on the panel.
I love them.
Before I go,
Chrissy.
would you guys like to plug your channels? Let's see.
Oh yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, there you go. You go first.
We have 2 fresh uploads on Admiral Teague. One about the Star Trek New Trek Picard Season 3 garbage going on, and a little bit of that. And an upload of A Taste of Armageddon set to punk rock music, original punk rock music. So enjoy it. It's that one's only 4 minutes long. 2 fresh uploads for you that so far this week, and maybe a saving Star Trek soon.
Oh wow, that's cool because I'm going to be talking about The Taste of Armageddon on Tuesday, and Pop Culture Curator should be back for that.
I will be working for my favorite employer on Tuesday.
I will be there.
So I'll be enjoying listening to it, I hope.
Yes. And speaking of Pop Culture Curator, he had to take a week off, but will you be able to stream this week?
I believe so. We'll be continuing our Star Trek the Animated Series reviews on Monday. Tuesday, you'll find me on Jill's channel for her TOS reviews. And then Tuesday evening, I'm going to continue my horror review with the Army of Darkness. And Wednesday, we will resume the Gilligan's Island streams, which, when you get a chance, Jill, I need to talk to you behind the scenes.
Okay, well, we'll be behind the scenes in just a few moments. So that'll work.
Well, you don't have time. I'm saying it can be any day now.
I have a little bit of time.
Okay.
All right. And hello to the Comic Relief Crusader. You got here just at the end of the stream, but we had a fun little stream here. 2.5 hours. I think it was good.
Yeah, hello to all you guys in the chat. Comic Relief, Tony Stark, all you guys.
Hello, Comic Relief.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. Tony Stark, Comic Relief Crusader, Edge of Time, Mr. Brown Alliance, Stuart Mitchell, and Donnie Pearson, Raymond Feliciano, Admiral Teague, Dalek 451, Edge of Time, yeah, Lemon Pie, and Rennie L. and Tyron. And yes, Peter was here. That was cool.
Cool.
And Matt G. And Gorilla's Random Thoughts.
Yay.
Also, even Mega Cropper was here for a minute.
The Mega Cropper?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, he said, I prefer the earlier start time.
We got something funny to say, that one.
And okay, so now I'd like for you to plug your channel.
Is Deckard a replicant? Probably. How many timelines in the original Back to the Future? Definitely 3. What about the commode scene in Reservoir Dogs? Did that happen? Yeah, totally, absolutely happened. What are you talking about? What's the worst film ever made? Well, it's The Usual Suspects, of course. None of it did happen. It's ridiculous. So, so all the hard pop culture question topics all locked down after 2 years of hard work with a bit of pizzazz on Captain Infinity. If you're really lucky, you might catch Scotty there and or Jill, and possibly these guys here as well. All right, thanks. Back to you.
Yeah,
Jill.
this pretty much could be one of your shows. And
nice.
So
that good.
Yeah. So do you have anything you want to share, PvP?
Penny already?
No, I think he's gone actually. Okay.
It might be AFK.
I'm actually still here, but I just got a phone call and I've got to do a bit of stuff, so I'll be gone for a little while, but I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, I'm closing the show. So.
Oh, you're closing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
Good night, everybody.
I'm going to the pub.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
PvP though, she's asking if you want to plug your channel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Jill can throw a link in if she wants to. It's basically just music playlists. I haven't got much else on there right now, so. But if you want to listen to some tunes while you're doing stuff, like, go for it.
Yeah.
Well, PvP, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you want to set up a time in the next few days,
yeah,
with StreamYard.
Yeah, sorry, Pop. It's just been life is just sometimes it gets so
me
crazy.
Too. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm always there if you need it. Help.
Yeah, I think I've got your information. I think I've got it here somewhere that you gave me before. So hopefully, maybe this weekend I'll be able to.
You're not on Twitter yet, are you?
Actually, I did sign up, but I can't remember my password. I've got that around somewhere too. Oh man, it's crazy.
That's all right. Well, try to stick around for my horror stream Tuesday if you can.
Well, actually, Jill has my email address. If Jill wants to pass it on to you, Pop, that would be cool.
Oh yeah, I can do that. I can send that
Yeah,
to you.
because that's probably the easiest way to
Yeah,
communicate
if you can send it
through
to
emails,
Twitter, that'd
right?
be great.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that would
will.
work.
I'll DM it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jill.
Right, where's the next party? Should we go back to mine?
I don't know.
Are you
All
gonna
right,
stream
next party's
Captain?
at my place. After Jill's finished, we'll go back to
Yeah.
mine.
Also, Bird of Prey 5 might be streaming too, and
Yeah,
so yeah, got choice between Bird of Prey 5 and Captain Infinity.
So many streams, so little time.
So I will talk to you guys later.
My internet's really slow, so I might just get Teague and PvP talking and pop culture in the quiet corner listening, and that's the show.
Until
I'll probably be able to pop on, but I got to do some important stuff first.
Fine.
I got a phone call. If I don't pay a
we'll
bill,
sort
I
out
might
with
not.
the
I might not be on the internet if I don't pay this bill.
Oh my God, go do it. Okay,
Yeah,
bye
let's
guys.
pay the bill.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Au revoir, Pee-wee.
Look, I'm a doctor, not an escalator. Spock, give me a hand.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. I want to find. This is the one.
When are we going live?
Captain's log, stardate 3192.5, planet Eminiar 7. My orders are clear. We must establish diplomatic relations at all cost.
You were warned not to come here.
500,000 people have just been killed.
Our duty now.
Your duty doesn't include stepping into a disintegrator and disappearing.
I'm afraid mine does, Captain.
Sir, there's a multi-legged creature crawling on your shoulder.
You and your party have been declared war casualties. You will be taken immediately to one of our casualty stations so that your deaths may be recorded. If possible, we shall spare your ship, Captain, but its passengers and crew are already dead.